What's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of Press Any Key. I'm your host. Well, how does this work now that you guys are all here?
We're the all people. I'm one of your people.
We're all
Pat
hosts.
Naparano.
Yes, these are my disciples.
Oh,
Hey,
we're getting into territory there.
This
is the second time you're turning into a cult leader.
I'm not gonna kiss you on the mouth.
The abuse starts now.
He's turning into Jared Leto.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want kisses on the mouth. That's weird. Feet, though? Get with it.
Now we know.
Get with
That's
it.
what Pat's into.
All about those
Trains
feet.
and feet.
What does Charlie actually do in the basement?
It's all about the.
It's all about the feet.
Foot rubs.
Well, I removed the stairs, and now I just dangle my feet off the side. And
Come on, buddy.
It's just like The Sims.
sometimes I get
Just take the stairs away.
It's a good thing Pat doesn't have a pool.
sometimes I get a
He'll
little
take the ladder
tickle.
away.
Sometimes I get a little nibble. Anyway,
I call it catfishing.
yes, fishing for Charlies. Anyway, we got stuff to talk about this week.
Surprising.
We have serious shit to talk about this week.
I'm not
Like-
ready.
Industry changing stuff, and then we have Space Jam.
Wait, yeah, industry
changing.
Yeah, industry changing. You're right. So, let's just get started. Netflix has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Netflix announced that starting in 2022, that they're gonna start having video games available to stream, and not only that, it's gonna be a part of your. It's going to be packaged in with your subscription service. I don't know how long that's going to last.
So, yeah, is it going to be like it's packaged in for 1 month and then?
Right.
Or they're just like, screw you guys, now it's $25 per
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah.
I already pay 20 because I have the 4K shit. So I don't imagine.
for you.
Yeah,
My
it's going to be
bad.
30.
My TV ain't
I
even
think.
4K, but I'm not even watching that.
How much stuff is 4K on Netflix?
The Chappelle specials, and that's all that matters.
Oh, so this is the equivalent of your PS5.
Yes. Yes.
The extra money for the one time a year that Chappelle is now putting out a special.
Okay. I thought you were going to say extra money for like the Blu-ray player on the PS5, and I was going to say, no, because I got the Mummy on 4K, and I watched that shit.
I'm not talking shit about your PS5.
did you
You've
watch
talked
The
enough
Mummy?
shit about your PS5.
What'd you say?
You watched The Mummy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It was
week? In the last week you
Yeah,
watched
in the last
Coming
week.
up next week, we're talking about
I still got to see
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't. I mean, like, it was The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. It was good
it's
though.
his heyday.
Yeah, it's his heyday pretty much. Liz didn't understand why Brendan Fraser was such a big deal,
Has
and then
she
I
seen
showed her
Tarzan?
those movies. He's in Tarzan.
Yeah,
Oh,
he is
you
Tarzan.
got- you-
Wait,
You gotta watch the
the
Tarzan
live action
with him.
Tarzan movie.
He is jacked, and he acts like obviously like an idiot because he's Tarzan. He doesn't have any like social cues or anything.
Uh-huh.
It's worth
And-
watching.
Relevant to this
Is this not
conversation.
George of the Jungle? You sure it's not George
yeah,
of
this
the
sounds like
Jungle?
George
It's
of the
George
Jungle.
of the
George
Jungle.
Pretty
George
sure
of
it's
the
George of the
same
Jungle.
character.
Watch out for that tree.
Yeah,
But there was also the Dudley Do-Right movie.
I
that he
have
did,
seen that.
And
Yes.
he was in the Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Yes, I have
which
seen
I've
that.
seen recently. People saying like, "Why do we care about Space Jam?" Looney Tunes Back in Action is where it's actually at.
Why do we care about either?
Well,
Yeah,
Brendan
because
Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
because we
There's
were
also
All
children.
right.
Dazzle,
Okay,
which is a
let's
great
talk
movie.
about game streaming services because that's what I feel is the bigger conversation. I think we haven't talked about that on this show yet. And originally, I was thinking like PS Now versus Game Pass, like because that's really the only two like true competitors in this space, and they both have pros and cons.
And you have both, right?
Yeah, I do have both.
okay.
And I don't actually I only just started using one pretty regularly. But there's some other ones. There's some outliers. Like there's Stadia, there's Luna, which is,
Right.
That's
the
Amazon.
Amazon one, right?
Yeah. And now there's Netflix, but I don't think come on, Stadia sucks. Just admit it already. Everyone knows it sucks.
Everybody
So
I
knows.
mean, we did talk about
We did
Stadia
talk
before.
about Stadia, and we've talked about Game Pass a little bit.
Yeah, I think Stadia, like, hopefully, I want it to do well. I like their marketing, so I actually care about them. But maybe they're just better at marketing than they are at games.
Yeah, they have infinite money. Like, they're going to be good at marketing.
but Netflix, I also think could take off just because everybody's already got it. So
Yeah.
why not? It's
Yeah.
in everybody's.
But we
home
don't know
already.
anything about like what it's gonna take to run these games. Like what type of internet you need is basically what I'm saying. What type of actual interface you're gonna need? Like what is the price point to that?
what is the Netflix
yeah.
controller?
Yes,
today?
because
Yeah.
Stadia
Yeah.
is like it's like $100-something for the controller,
Yeah.
and then it's $60 a year for the service, and then you gotta buy the fucking games on top of that.
That's
So do
ridiculous.
you think
Like-
we're going to need like a peripheral? Like Or is it just going to be built into like, you know, I have a smart TV, so now I have
Now I just
Netflix,
have it built in.
and now
You're
it's built
definitely
in.
gonna need a peripheral.
Because there's no
matter
way
what.
with like the processing.
Oh no
power and-
no! I like for the actual streaming on like the game on Netflix. That's nothing.
just for
That's
the
all
controller.
internet dependent. For the actual
That's
controller
what I'm talking
though,
about. It's gonna
you're
be
probably gonna need a dongle,
yeah, that
some
makes
sort.
sense.
You know,
Gotta
like
get
with
that
the
dongle.
yeah, you gotta get the dongle. Let's say
You just play with your remote control.
It's like you turn it on the side.
you could always
Yeah.
you could always Bluetooth it to.
That's what I was wondering. Like you take
Yeah.
like a DualShock and Bluetooth it.
You could, yeah. I mean, I Bluetooth my controllers to my PC, whatever
Right.
that piece of shit is I have. What is?
I'm just curious what kind of games they're gonna actually get.
Oh,
Like, are they
you
gonna be
can-
like
you can-
AAA games?
you can
I
bet
wonder if it's gonna
Assassin's Creed
start-
will be there
No,
day one.
Cyberpunk is gonna be on
No,
Netflix.
dude, the
Dude,
fucking
sold.
streaming games that always
Sold.
go to the games that show up on streaming services first: Assassin's Creed's,
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, and The Witcher. Those will be
Oh.
day one.
You don't think they're gonna do like Netflix exclusives, and it's just gonna be based off of their existing properties?
That would be
That'd be
interesting.
cool.
If
The
Netflix
That's
Stranger
actually
started like,
kinda
Things
cool.
video
Hold
game.
hold up. Are they good?
No, they're
okay, then no, I don't
no,
give
no,
a
like the
shit.
big flagship ones, yes, but you get way more really crappy. Like,
Oh, okay.
arcade games.
So for every one God of War, you get 1,000 shovelware
Exactly.
titles.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, perfect. That's what
Exactly.
I'm looking for in
That's
my
what the
gaming
industry is
experience.
built off of.
Game Pass.
Game
It's
Pass.
Game Pass.
I
yeah.
definitely want. I think Stranger Things side scroller would be fun.
They've made like similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So-
online,
Yeah.
there's like promo content for like some side scroller things.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But actually,
Golden.
That leads us
So-
on to our next topic.
no, so, but just getting back to the crux of the argument, like PS Now versus Game Pass, because Netflix is just going to do the same thing that Stadia and Luna did. They're just going to show up and then it's not going to work out and
Gonna fizzle out.
it's going to fizzle
I'm
out.
gonna
Yeah.
take the bet against that.
Ooh.
Oh, he always does though. Like
Not
I kind
always,
of
but most of the time.
How much
like
money are you trying to get?
everyone,
Money.
everyone
How much
was
money?
I mean, if we're gonna do
How
money,
much money?
you
everyone
make
was
low
on
stakes,
board
$5.
for
$5
Microsoft buying Discord except for him until I said that what if they put Nitro in with Game Pass and they're like, oh, value added, value added, yes,
Value added.
value added.
Algae rhythm.
Joe, take a note of value added. I need to make an image of that.
Thank you.
These liably leaguable.
I put these on the internet for you guys.
Yeah.
These are for everybody.
Here's the thing. That one's got to go.
No,
best
that's
one.
the best one.
But
yeah, it's,
you could always just do it again too. You know, how many times am I going to say that from here
We
until
could
the
have
time
a
we
whole
die?
row of different.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
But no, I think obviously from a business standpoint, this is great because if you think about Netflix as a business model, they're gonna plateau on the amount of subscribers that they get. So the only way to get more subscribers is you have to now change the business and you have to grow the business a little bit to get more. I think it's great from a business standpoint. Will I get
Dude,
it?
they're not
Probably
profitable.
not.
They're not. The whole
but, like,
point of Netflix is just grow.
They're in
'Cause-
so
'cause
much
it's
debt.
not sustainable.
They're in so much debt. They're never gonna dig their way out of
government's
it.
gonna bail 'em
They're
out.
just gonna. They're just gonna get bailed out.
too
And they're
big
just
to
gonna
fail.
run
They're
up
too
another
big to
bill,
fail.
and then they're gonna.
But
But okay,
I think to
this
your
is
point
kind of
where-
getting away from the
I think
point.
to your point where it's like you have Xbox Game Pass, you have PS Now. Those are the companies that are putting out games on these systems are doing Game Passes. That logically makes sense.
But also think of the particulars though of each of those services. PlayStation Now has like every title from PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. The smaller games you can stream, right?
Right.
Like the megabyte games. The newer games you can download straight to your console and play those as long as you have a subscription, you have access. The only thing, I mean, this Game Pass works the same way. The only thing that Game Pass has over PS Now is same day release. All of those new Microsoft games are coming to Game Pass day one.
well, that's the thing. You have that leveraging power because you're literally dealing with the companies that are doing that. Like when you're doing Stadia and when you're doing like Netflix and everything, you have to add another level of licensing with these games, and then that's a lot of reasons why like old games can't get HD remakes. Is because you have weird old.
All right,
licensing
you're bumming
rules.
me out now.
I'm just saying.
Damn.
I'm just saying
He's
you're
just
trying
spitting
like
truth.
you're also giving Game Pass and PS Now another year plus to like really continually amp up and develop their services. Like it's gonna be hard to compete. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
The
When is this launching? Do they have any idea?
2022.
2022.
Right? It didn't say
2022?
like when
Okay.
or whatever in it.
Okay. Smart to not put a date on it. Generally, 2022. We'll
I think that's our
figure it out.
general consensus on
Yeah.
the show.
They'll
Don't put a
figure
date
it
Don't put a
out.
date on it. Don't
Until
put a
it's
date
2
on
weeks
it.
before
They'll
release.
figure it out.
The cyberpunk lesson we've all
Yes.
have learned.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean we all learned? That side of the table didn't learn anything. You guys didn't pay for that game.
Oh no, we knew better.
Okay, yeah, nobody knew better. We all thought that there was gonna be something amazing.
I was so psyched. I was so psyched. I
know.
don't want to
That's
get into it.
that.
I don't want to get into it.
You know
I'm
what?
still upset about
We're
that.
gonna move on.
That's 60
We're
bucks.
gonna yeah.
I need to move.
We're gonna move on from this. But I'll say this just to like put a pin in it. I've never been so underwhelmed by 30 hours of a video game in my life.
Put a pin in it. What?
Yeah.
We're talking about Netflix right now.
I thought you were going to talk about Netflix.
Put a
I didn't
pin
realize
in
we
it.
were still on Cyberpunk. I could go on.
We'll go back to
I
it. That's
can
what I'm
go
saying.
on.
Put a pin in it. We'll go back to it.
Netflix hard to compete. That's it. That's
Yeah.
what I'm going with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Netflix is going to continue to throw money at it. It probably will not do that well, but I'm interested to try it.
What if they shipped the physical games to you like
They
Netflix
go back to their old
used
model.
To do?
It's
Yeah.
GameFly.
It goes
It's
off like
just GameFly.
I
gangbusters.
forgot about
Yeah.
GameFly.
Remember GameFly? Yeah.
Did any of you guys have GameFly? Did you subscribe to it?
No.
I don't
God,
know a
no.
single
I had games.
person.
I actually lived as a part of a society, so I didn't have GameFly.
but now,
However,
Now I wouldn't have GameFly either. It's not practical. But
have
they
Game
are
Pass.
bringing it back, though. They
Yeah?
do. GameFly is back in some capacity, yeah.
Are they really?
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
it, I'm
But
gonna get it.
Blockbuster games. I would rent the shit out of Blockbuster games. Hands
N64
down. Very
games
different.
at Blockbuster
Oh,
was just such a unique experience.
God damn it. The best time of
God.
my life.
Oh my god.
It's taking home games. You didn't know what the fuck.
Cartridges.
That was the best part. I would do it when it didn't even need it. Oh, it's
right.
working? I'll still
We have a
blow into
game
it.
night, I think, next week. We're doing a Blockbuster episode. That just.
Interesting.
We'll figure it out.
Make that work.
Facebook is paying their creators. They should.
They
Moving
should have.
on.
They should have been. Yeah. However, it's funny. They're paying their creators like they allocated
They
$1
are
billion.
making a pledge.
A pledge
to
of $1
pay
billion.
But,
That's a
like,
good.
okay,
It's a good
so-
distinction, as opposed to YouTube that has been doing $7 billion.
Maybe I don't understand Facebook.
It's averaging
don't.
$10 billion
Yeah.
over the last 3 years per year for YouTube for its for content creation.
Got
its
it, okay.
payouts to its content
But
creators.
can
Okay.
someone tell me, like,
Is it a creation platform? Like,
who goes there looking for their creators? Like,
So,
what
I
boomer?
have no idea.
That's been a lot of the things. A lot of the Mark Zuckerberg, we all love him.
A lot of
Our
the
goal is to help make as many creators as possible find sustainable long-term success on our app. So it's really
yeah.
basically TikTok blew up, and then they're seeing all of everybody get pulled from TikTok, and there's now gaming content on TikTok.
Right.
Yeah.
So Facebook is shitting itself, being like, "Oh, we're gonna pay people
Yeah. It's just
$1
like
billion."
here's a billion.
Yeah.
Right here.
I just
got
don't
it.
understand the strategy, though. Like,
It's
I
just
don't
to
go to
attract
Facebook
people. No one
to
does.
watch
No one does.
streams.
Because there's no
I
one
go to
there, which is
Facebook.
why they're doing this.
Oh, true. Yeah. Well, he's a dumbass. So I go to Facebook to see clips of streams and then go to YouTube or Twitch to watch those streams. I don't fucking go to Facebook to watch a stream ever.
And that's the whole point of why they're doing this, which they're fighting a losing battle.
Because they
It's just this-
shit
yeah.
the bed so hard
Yeah.
during COVID when everybody was trying to do live streaming music content. They shut that shit down quick because there was no way for them. They you
couldn't
remember
monetize it?
They couldn't monetize it.
Right.
You used to be able to see in the first 3-4
I
months
haven't
of
used
COVID.
Facebook in years, so
in
I'm out of the
the
loop.
first 3-4 months, a lot of artists I knew and a lot of local artists were doing we're doing a live show and we're doing it that way. And then after a while, bigger artists started doing it, and then real quickly after larger artists started doing it, they were like, we're gonna have to use different dedicated platforms besides Facebook.
Right.
Is it pathetic to be upset that your we didn't go for Facebook for the long haul? You know what I mean? I see no value in Facebook. I do not.
No.
You know what I
Shit,
mean?
This is the second time we
100%.
watched the same thing happen in MySpace. It's gonna happen.
Oh shit!
fail
Well,
eventually.
but the difference is now that since Facebook has kind of shook its initial demographic, all that's on there is just you have this if the internet's an ocean, Facebook is
It's
a
the
giant
garbage pile.
ship
Is the garbage
that is just full of our parents,
Full of boomers.
Everybody who's
Just
older
floating
than
around.
us just sharing
Talking alt-right
misinformation, but and somebody's gonna spring a leak somewhere.
That's actually, the funny thing is, it's like Facebook is going home, because originally all it was designed to do was say, it's like, hey, like
Did
Mike's
you go to the
doing this
same
thing. He
college?
went to this school. He's like, oh, this person's getting married and just bought a house. It's like, that's all it was ever meant to be, and then it grew beyond its boundaries.
And now it's Welcome to the Internet by Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what I mean. Like, that's what like my mom uses it. It's like, well, I found my buddy who I went to high school with. My
That's
friend.
what my grandma
Yeah.
uses it for. My
Yeah.
grandma is like probably close
But
to like 80
should
years old at this point.
should
It's
we?
Like, oh,
Like nobody stopped to ask if we should be doing.
All right,
like,
Dr. Malcolm.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, I shouldn't know what some crazy Trump supporting chick I went to high school with is doing right now. You know what I mean? I shouldn't know that information.
It's also fun
It's up
to
to
just
you.
watch those people from
You
afar
have the
and just
choice.
be
That's
like,
true.
oh, they fell down.
See,
so
I don't really-
hard.
I
And
don't-
it makes me
like,
feel
oh,
good.
I
I
really
got invited
don't-
to
It's
another
like, oh, I didn't
multi-level
do that
marketing
bad.
I
thing.
really
Like,
don't feel awesome about the whole lurker culture too. The people who
Yeah.
just make accounts and then don't interact with anything. Because then it's just like, all right, you're just there to watch and not engage, and that's a little bit more weird than engaging.
Some
Like,
platforms it works, like Reddit.
Yep.
You can lurk on Reddit.
oh yeah,
You
yeah.
are anonymous.
Reddit is
you know?
built
Yeah.
to lurk
But
for
like
sure.
Facebook,
Yeah.
we all created accounts when we were in like high school. And now
I'm getting rid of mine after this reunion that we're going to.
Yeah.
I'm getting rid of mine.
I literally only use it for shit posting groups. I belong to like a SpongeBob shit posting group, and I think you should leave shit posting
There
group.
you
And I
go.
think it's always sunny shit posting.
Yeah.
I use it
Check-
for
checking-
birthdays.
Yeah,
And
checking for
birthdays.
But,
I
birthdays.
just use it like, is
I-
there anyone important in my life who has a birthday today? No? Great.
But I also
Happy
like
birthday,
recently I did
Judy
one of
and
the
Shout
do
out to
you
Judy
guys
Allen.
remember the friend
dad.
purges? Do you guys ever do friend purges?
I remember those.
Okay,
Oh,
remember it's
yeah,
like if you're
yeah.
seeing this
Yeah.
status, you survived.
made it!
You made it. You're one of my
still
top
on
friends.
here. I still have 600 plus. Like, so you made the cut, and
Like,
I only
what-
deleted 22. Like, so
Like, what was so toxic about those people that you couldn't just like unfollow them? Like, you had to
Yeah,
like.
to let 'em-
No,
everybody-
You
no,
needed
actually-
the attention out of it is the
The-
problem.
No, the best is the announcements that are like, "I'm leaving Facebook. I'm going.
Well,
you guys can't stop me."
that's
As if
social.
people,
What's it called? Social media suicide. Crazy. People who are mentally ill who are just like,
Addiction?
Everybody.
yeah, who are
a
like,
lot of people.
yeah.
a lot of people.
well, okay.
Let's
the
get serious,
yeah,
folks.
let's talk about mental health.
This
Openly,
is Mental Health Awareness Month.
we're getting serious
Our
over
engineer
here.
says no.
Now, move
Turn
on.
the other way. What are we even talking about? Oh yeah, social media sucks. Just don't fuck with it. How about
Well, to wrap this all
But follow
up,
us on
Cyberpunk.
TikTok and Instagram.
that? To go back to what I was saying before about Cyberpunk
30 hours wasted.
Now you can watch people play Cyberpunk
on
on Facebook,
Facebook.
and they'll get paid for it.
Yes.
Do you guys remember Facebook TV? Do you
No.
remember that at all?
I literally
They
don't.
tried launching their own like TV
Video
like,
platform.
Video platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it
Is
just
this what
it tanked.
they're doing now? Right now?
This
Again?
is. I think this is now like a different version
This
of
is
it.
like
But yeah.
going
Yeah,
back to old
I mean,
Coke.
Like they tried doing like cooking shows and stuff like that, and like other like lifestyle shows and everything.
God, I do
it all
not remember
tanked.
this.
It
Listen,
all, well,
I
it
see
all
the
just didn't
appeal.
take off. It was bad.
I see the appeal in posting video content on Facebook because when you scroll by it, it just starts playing and your videos just rack up views by
Right.
doing that, which is kind of like,
a cheap way.
but that's
lie.
like what TikTok does, and that's what like Instagram does now too, which is also part of Facebook. So but it's not infested with boomers because they don't know how to work Instagram.
How do I do this?
They're not there yet.
They're the zombies at the gate that haven't figured out how to get in, but there'll be
They're the
one.
shamblers.
There'll be one that lifts it up and goes through the gate, and calls
And
the
then
rest
it's
of
the
them in.
classic.
Yes.
Yeah.
They need their glasses.
I really don't like that guy.
How do I do this? But by the time that they get on TikTok, that's when everyone has already moved on to something
Oh yeah,
else.
we'll be in our 60s at that point.
We'll be with the brain implants at that point.
Yeah.
Yo, honestly, I'm all for hive mind integration. Let's just do it.
They
It'll be
turned his
easier.
chip off.
It'll be easier.
about like Neuralink type
Yeah,
stuff.
pretty much. Yeah, the eye brain.
Cyberpunk.
The eye
The eye brain. All right, moving on. Speaking of the eye brain,
Not two.
Valve,
Well,
47.
Adam.
Valve gaming handheld.
Right.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
How do we all
interesting.
feel?
I'll
I'm
be
ready.
honest. I don't again, I'm not too familiar with it. However, I thought this originally was so stupid when I saw this. However, as I started reading about
You're
it, I was
actually
like,
the one here who might benefit the most
here's
from
the thing.
it.
As I was reading about it, I was just like, this looks kind of cool. Like, this looks really fucking cool. I'm kind of into
He's
this.
finally gonna start gaming with us.
That's the thing. I might actually start gaming.
It's gonna
if I'm
lag
not,
the hell out of everything.
Exactly.
Well,
Let's do
there
it.
is an
I'm
Ethernet
dragging
port,
everybody
no?
down.
Is
There
there?
is. Oh, hold on. I got the text.
I've got the specs up as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, so connectivity is Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB-C with DisplayPort 1.4 support. I don't know if there's
So
actually
okay,
Ethernet.
I have seen video of someone hooking this up to a monitor and using a mouse and keyboard.
Well, that's what that
and
like,
it does
little,
scale
little,
up.
little touchpad-y thing is, like the mouse
Yeah,
element of it, right?
yeah,
'Cause some
and
games
you
can't
can. It will like upscale to 1080, but it won't run your games any better.
Interesting.
You know, because it's a handheld.
You know,
But it's kind of cool that like it's a $400 like Steam machine, and you can bet your fucking ass that Game Pass is gonna get on that thing. Microsoft's gonna be like, ooh, another device that isn't our direct competitor. We'll put it on there too.
well, hello.
There's also been rumors about Game Pass integrating with your Steam account too.
I've seen
So
the
any-
that's cool.
cross-platform.
So
I'd like to
any
see that.
so any game that like I don't know what the specific of it would be, but I do know for a fact that any game that Microsoft has in Game Pass on the Xbox app that is also in Steam would be covered by that.
I think it works already for some games because I booted up No Man's Sky the other day and it said like checking for cross-platform players.
Well,
Oh.
that
Game
just
Pass.
means that it's looking for people who wouldn't be on your your UI friends list. So like
Oh, it's
Yeah,
not for
it's-
like it's
no.
not looking for people on playing on an Xbox.
yeah,
or, okay.
it's looking for anyone that's just on your friends
I got
list and no
excited.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's kind of a big deal. That's why I was like, wait a minute, did this really?
That's why I
did
was
this
like,
come out and I didn't
what?
fucking hear about it. Yeah, it looks like a Game Gear from back in the day.
I have a Game
Yeah.
Gear.
Really?
yeah,
do,
you
yeah.
should bring it in.
I think I've got I've got a Game
You never
Gear.
seen a
I've
Game
got-
Gear before?
I think is it Virtual Boy? Was that one of them that looked like it too? Check it out.
So what is this?
You never seen a
no,
Game
I have
Gear?
this.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
I have
Okay.
this.
Oh,
I'll
you
see
know
if I
what?
can
Hold
find
on.
it. It's in my parents' basement, but it was for
Yeah,
it was,
Pat, do you want to
it's a
send
Sega, right?
send the stream over there?
Send the what?
Do you want to cut to that view?
Yeah, you cut
Yeah, show them what we're looking at. Let them all. See.
I don't
them
control
see.
that. I thought he would have just.
Oh, he wants
Oh.
to check with the
Let 'em watch.
Oh, no,
with
no.
the cult leader.
Yeah, no,
I need
okay.
permission.
Let
All right.
the boys watch.
I get it. All right. I can be a little demanding sometimes. I'm not that crazy.
Boys watch.
But yeah, this could play full on Sega cartridges,
You literally,
right?
you literally
Yeah.
took the Sega cartridge you would put in your old Sega, and
That's-
then it would put in the back.
That's
Yeah.
That's
cool.
why this thing
That's
is
really
massive.
Cool.
Like,
Yeah. But
It's-
like
it's
the
huge. It's,
backlight
you know,
was
it's bulky.
stupid bright, and like it would blow out games.
Yeah,
you
at
know?
least
would
it had a
burn 'em out.
backlight.
Yeah.
right? It's
Game Boy. You
Game
see,
Boy
like, look,
Advance
this is
or
what
Game Boy
this.
Color.
Oh, perfect. But this is kind of what the screen would look like,
Okay.
Oh,
all
God.
blown out.
I
and
mean, the
kinda,
screen on
but
this
this was
thing
like,
is
you know,
massive.
okay, this is
That
clearly
is
a Photoshop.
promotional image.
Yes, yes, it's 100%
What's
not
that-
a real thing.
That bottom left there,
This one?
or up above that.
That's all the intro.
This is just
Sonic.
like
It's
Sonic.
like a similar kind of thing.
That
Yeah.
looks-
That might actually be
That might be a
proper
real
screen
shot.
grab, but you know.
I just don't think so, because then you go down here and like look how wonderful this
Well,
looks.
it's also like trying to photograph like a CRTV back then.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
You're not gonna be able
well,
to get
you
like,
can't
Yeah.
capture pixels with
Yeah, you
pixels.
can't.
So
You can't.
So
However, like this thing actually does. It looks cool.
How much
Pull,
they
pull up a
selling
picture
for?
of this.
How much
the
Deck.
Steam Deck.
There, you can get. It starts
You-
at
you want that,
400, and then you can get like 529. That's for the 256 gigabyte one, and then they have a 512 gig one for 649.
But the 512 gig
Has the
doesn't come out
SSD.
for like another year and a half.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know why you would buy that though. You can run
Because
games
that's-
off an SD card though. So why wouldn't you just buy the lowest model and
because
then
that's got an
load-
SSD.
yeah.
That's the reason. Like the 512.
The
one.
5, yeah, the
That's the only
529.
one with-
Yeah.
Oh, with an SSD?
Yeah.
But even then, you'd still just use it for the OS.
well,
you know
the,
what I mean?
the 256 also has an SSD.
Does it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
yeah.
they're all SSDs.
Could have read that wrong.
So-
Yeah. Well, actually, the 64 doesn't say SSD, but it comes with a carrying case.
Ooh.
Very important to know.
See, like, it's got Control on there and Doom and Hades is a given, but like Control and Doom are pretty fucking GPU intensive games.
Doom is a lot.
Like,
Yeah.
That's a
like
Doom is an orgy
this-
for your eyes
the
now,
Control
all compacted into
it's
something
like one of
size
the
a
first
smartphone.
games that came to Series X with ray tracing and 60 FPS and 4K
Oh, was that the one you were
resolution.
playing?
Yeah,
I
that's the one I was.
watching?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know you're not getting that on this
I
thing.
know,
No,
but like,
absolutely
what
not.
are the games gonna like? The textures can't look that good. You know what I mean? Like, are they like? But
Do they
if we
have
have
to?
a 720, yeah,
Something like Valheim would look good on
for
this.
you.
Right,
Because-
something
yeah.
with the max
So
settings of it
ex-
look like a PlayStation 2 game.
Exactly. Something that looks like Minecraft would look great on this.
Not with
yeah.
ray tracing.
I mean, like, but I mean, Burke, you played Ocarina of Time and stuff on 3DS, right?
which I did not bring for you.
Yeah, I know. I might just get my own because they discontinued them, so I might
Yeah,
just buy my
they're
own.
limited, so they're
Yeah.
expensive though.
They're like $140.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but it's
I'm
worth.
sitting on a gold
Oh,
mine.
actually, now that we're talking about this, you guys know that I bought an Xbox, right? I told everyone that.
Yeah, you told us.
Okay, I paid $250 for a used digital like all-in-one. They were like $300 or $350 when they came out. I just want it for the Banjo games and a couple other stuff that I can't get on Game Pass, and I'm not paying the scalper for a brand new Xbox, right? Today I looked. Somebody posted one still in the box for $100 less. It's always the worst.
I wouldn't believe that. Like that seems like a scam.
I mean, yeah, it does, but I don't know that. So
I don't know that.
Therefore,
Like, give them my
scam.
credit card.
yeah, therefore, I
There's only
must
one
feel
way to find
sorrow.
out if it's
I
a
mean, like
scam.
I have a tracking number for the other one, and the other guy like actually answered me, and
Right.
you know, so the other one is coming. Don't worry, I got it. It'll be here.
Did you see how they did pre-orders for the new console though?
The Steam Deck?
Yeah.
No, how they do it?
It's really interesting because they were trying to prevent like everybody from doing what everybody is doing. Speaking of scalpers, with all of the Xbox and PlayStations, so you had to have a Steam account. It had to be at least I think a couple months old and had to have one game in it prior to June. Then you buy it, it's $5. So then you get like the access to be able to buy it. Then you get an email, which basically is like, hey, you've pre-ordered this. Do you want to opt into the pre-order? And then you have to click yes for that. So there's like 6-factor authentication for
Now-
like pre-ordering. So I can't go on.
Can
there
they
and order 40.
make these?
Can they make what?
Can they make these fucking things? Because like you
Like-
can't make Xbox or PC.
According
Actually,
to Batman,
actually,
you can't make these things yet.
Actually,
Not yet.
to be fair, I did go to Best Buy I think it was last week. I told you guys this. They had stock of PC parts, like full, like shelves full. No
Yeah, but they're-
GPUs,
no
but
GPUs. Or
the price
everything
is
else
like-
was filled.
So I could
Fine.
build everything
Yeah.
else for my PC?
Yeah,
Except
absolutely.
the GPU?
Well, that's the problem. You should just buy a pre-built, rip the GPU out, and then
And put it in my...
Well, no, I would say your long-term plan is you buy a pre-build, ride that out, and then we build you something nice in like 2 years, and then
Yeah.
you rip the GPU out of the pre-build and put it in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck your
way to
warranty
go.
at that part, you know.
Yeah, you're not getting that back.
Yeah. That's what we call a financial hole.
That's what we call gaming.
Like if you take a look around, this is a financial hole.
Oh,
All
I'm
right,
aware.
Anyway,
It's deep.
you can play your entire Steam library though. That's cool. I like
That's
that.
cool.
I mean, like that's the whole point. But also, like, how is like, I'm trying to think of a really graphics intensive game
That's
right
the
now.
reason I bought a PC, was so I could play.
This isn't for us.
Oh yeah, I know.
You know, that's ultimately what
But
it
it's
is.
it's an
This is for
expensive
me.
This is
it's
for
an
him.
expensive
Hello.
console still. Like it's more than the Switch. It's more
Yeah.
than like most other handheld consoles at this
Yeah.
point, and it's
Yeah.
comparable to an Xbox or a PlayStation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't agree with that last part, but
It's
yeah,
comparable to
everything
the
else.
MSRP. for
Okay.
a Xbox
Yes.
or a
Okay.
PlayStation.
Makes that now you make more sense. Okay. Or the Switch OLED that everyone wanted so much that everyone asked for repeatedly over and over again. Remember that?
I know I was emailing them every day. I was like, you know what you guys need to do, Nintendo.
You know what I need? More handheld versions of this console.
You gave me the light, now give me the
The
extra.
shitty part is that even if you bought that, you can't use the features unless it's in handheld mode.
Yep.
There's nothing that makes it any better when it's docked. So
I mean,
it's
I don't
like
think many people play with it docked. Like aside from playing with it on the TV.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like the whole
There's
point of
other
it is
people
to-
who play with it docked when it's not on the TV.
No, I'm saying I don't think many people
I'm just
play
saying that's
with
what it sounded
docked.
like he said, right?
No. I'm saying many
Essentially.
Yeah.
many people, I think more people probably play that game handheld than they do it in the dock.
Oh,
is
okay.
what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay.
This is the rhythm of the night.
Moving on. So, Loki Season 1, boys. So, this is normally when I the audio on that is going to be wonderful to listen back to later. So normally we would do non-spoiler spoiler. However, I don't think anyone's going to care if we do spoilers on this because it is.
And this is the last 3 episodes, so if you haven't seen,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
the first
if you're
3
not
of
up to
them,
this point.
count those as the non-spoiler.
Yeah, but also even there, just, you
It
know,
came out on Wednesday too.
this
It's
is-
not like it came out on a Friday.
it's also a bunch of bullshit.
It's also
too.
a bunch of bullshit.
So,
Still ruined my
bullshit.
Saturday.
Ruined my Wednesday.
I
I think it
so
was Thursday. It ruined for me.
I'll just start it off here. I think there's a lot of potential, and I don't want to just shit all over it because there's a lot of stuff that I did like, but I think overall this was just a wet fart of a TV show.
I don't want to shit all over it, but this was a wet
But this was a
fart.
wet fart.
Yeah.
Just gonna
They
fart
weren't
all over it.
I'll
at the
accidentally
conclusion-
shit on it. I'll
at the
wet fart on
conclusion
it.
I'll
of
shart
every
on it.
episode, I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week is better.
Yeah, pretty much.
We only
It's
have
just-
1 more week.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
All the content that Marvel has just put out this year has just been a just downward trajectory
Except Black
of
Widow.
just
That was
downward
a plateau trajectory.
of just not. Yeah, it went and then it just kept getting worse. It's just.
I
It was
just think
bad.
we all have such
was
high
bad.
expectations for Marvel because like there's been plenty of stuff that was just blah before, but you kind of like forget like, oh, those Thor movies were
But
just kinda
remember
blah.
where we left off before this
Yeah,
started?
that's what I'm saying.
Like literally,
Yes.
they're at. I would.
They're bringing us back down so we can
Yeah,
climb
so we
that
can
ride
climb
that
back
high.
up.
again.
Exactly.
We're in
We
a
haven't
valley.
seen
They have to get back to a
shit
peak.
yet. Okay, like we even got an MCU movie release, and that was fucking filler for what comes later. You know what I mean?
I think that's more of the thing. It's like I think we do, like, to your point, we have high expectations because if you're giving us supplemental content, it's generally for a reason, and definitely Loki had a reason for supplemental
Yeah,
content, like because it starts spelling out the whole next wave of MCU. But I think it's also like if you're giving us extra stuff, like it kind of better be good, or then don't
Yeah.
do it.
I
Like,
didn't
that's my
know
perspective.
where I landed on Black Widow, where if I hate something more because it doesn't have a reason to exist, yet it's entertaining, whereas this has a reason to exist, yet I'm bored to fuck with it, so I'd rather it not be
It
here.
had so much potential.
it did.
It
It
really
really
could have been a
did.
cool.
Did it ever? Now that I
kinda
look
did.
back, I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
I think like Loki's a super interesting character, and Tom Hiddleston plays
Great
him
actor.
very well.
And you have Owen Wilson, like great cast.
like there's a
like,
lot of cool shit. You could have really like knocked something out of the park. Like you could have done something on par with WandaVision in that level of artistic direction. I felt, and I think they tried to take some stabs at it. No pun intended, but I just think
Fuck
it
you,
kind of
Mike.
fell
It just
short.
it fell
man.
flat.
I think
It
the
fell
other thing
flat on
too
its face.
is my expectations not only of quality but just for storyline. I think that tainted things for me because I thought there was going to be more like Loki on Loki interplay with all the different variants and seeing all the what kooky versions of Loki are we going to see? And that
Was the
just
alligator
Loki
not
was
enough
pretty
for
That was,
you?
but I mean, that was
Alligator
like,
Loki was
Crocodile
awesome.
Loki.
That was
Oh,
like
crocodile.
part
That's
of
what I-
Loki.
yeah.
one episode, whereas I thought the whole series was going to revolve around
Yeah.
all the different variants coming together.
We
where it
got
was
we
just
got
like a
15
footnote in the
15
background.
minutes of a you
Yeah.
know Benny Hill style.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, look, I've always said my entire life, pretty much, even before the MCU was around, that the MCU was eventually going to put out something that I don't like. And guess what? This is it. This is strike one.
It's just such a shame.
But like the thing with the supplemental content, like when they would put it out in movies, it was like months at a time, sometimes a year at a time. There may only be like one movie per year coming out.
Yeah,
over
but they
an
also
extended
did like
period of
one
time.
shots and shit
But,
too.
but the thing is that now this is supplemental content that has all come in within the span of 6 months.
Oh, they're playing
And
catch
it's
up
just,
for sure.
Yeah, they're just playing catch up, and it's just been one mediocre thing after the next. There's been no time for like build up and actual suspense to come out of it.
And the problem is this is supplemental content with really impactful, outcomes.
Ramifications
Yeah.
for the
Real
rest of the rest of the
for the next-
franchise.
Yeah.
Setting
Yeah.
up all of the rest of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But if you want to get into talking what happens, we can talk about that.
spoilers from this point forward.
I don't know what to
Do you
say.
guys think Crocodile Loki died?
I hope.
not.
Oh, you hope?
I hope not.
That was my favorite part of the
I
show.
love Crocodile Loki. He was
Him drinking
awesome.
wine, like
The-
yeah.
just
That
like
was my
holding it.
favorite
That was
part.
awesome.
Um,
But it was. I was watching it the whole time, and I was like, "Did they ever explain what's actually going on here?" I was so confused. Like the big ghost shadow guy or whatever that they had. I was so confused what was going on.
They tied it up in a nice, simple bow at the end. Is
Yeah.
this big thing
This
was
big
here, and I
creature.
found out how to
Cyberpunk.
control it.
yeah, which I was just like, "That's some crappy writing," but okay.
Well, I think when you have 30 minutes left in the final episode of the season, and you
when
do
your episodes are 42 minutes long.
yeah, but you're doing your entire exposition of explaining why everything is how it is for this entire season with the one dude. Like, you gotta just be like, this is a thing, and I learned how to control it.
You know,
Yeah.
quite honestly, let's just get to the meat and potatoes of this. This introduced Kang the Conqueror, and you guys aren't familiar with Kang previous
I've
to this,
done
right?
some
I'm
research
familiar-
on
I'm
him. But
familiar
I'm
Okay.
not familiar
with
with
So
him.
like, there's
well,
a
before
bunch.
we even get into Kang, I just want to like riff on that. Where I feel like the first 2 episodes wasted so much time setting up the TVA and like the relationship when it could have been spent on like Loki and Sylvie and the Kang thing.
That's a good point.
Where
Like,
it was like
completely undermined.
every episode didn't feel connected to the other ones.
And it felt like it spent way too much time on the wrong
In the
thing.
wrong places. Yeah. So that's my
Yeah.
one thing. It's just like not consistent.
Kang is one of those I would consider the wrong place. So I kind of feel like if you never watch this, and it's going to feel like this when Kang is introduced in the film part of this universe, that you would never have needed to watch this
No.
to get all that. That's how it's going to feel ultimately.
Be-
So it is inconsequential. Same thing with Falcon getting his suit and everything. That's going to be inconsequential
Do you think
as
it
well.
would have felt better had it come out when it was supposed to?
Mm-mm.
Or would
Nah.
It, or
Well,
is
the whole
When
whole
was it
thing-
supposed to
the
come
whole
out?
thing with
I'm not sure, but
yeah.
not now.
Oh,
But the whole thing with like Kang, where he's being set up in the Ant-Man kind of comics, in what is Ant-Man's sub weird like time world that he
Quantum.
can the
Quantum
realm.
yeah, the quantum realm. There was a shot in Ant-Man where you can see like it looks like Kang's like protected city in there in the background. So I think they're just gonna
Chronopolis.
be Chronopolis. So I think they're just gonna be
Chronopolis.
like
Crumbobulous, Michael.
Crumbobulous.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be like, like all this happened in Loki. It's like, but also it's like here is Kang, and he was here the whole time. So it's like it's really like you said, you don't need to pay attention.
Yeah.
to
I
Loki.
also saw something. I don't know if it was Mr. Sunday Movies, but they were saying how it's interesting because it deals with time and repeating cycles. The fact that they started Kang's story at his death, at the end of the story, and then you're gonna start over. It isn't like I do get the reasoning behind
Right.
it.
I like. My whole thing is like he's supposed to be a descendant of Reed Richards. At least what some versions of him
Canonically.
are.
Yeah.
And I kind of saw the way it going that he would be a descendant of Tony Stark
Yeah.
in the MCU.
Right.
Because
That's
they
how
set
I
up, they set
figured.
it up with his daughter. Like, so you
Exactly.
have descendants like
Yeah.
happening.
So I kind of wish that would have been
It
whatever.
might, it might
yeah.
happen. We
It
don't
I
still
know.
like the
could. It
idea.
still could happen.
I like the idea that since there is one in our universe, there is one Kang for every universe. So that's why they go on like this universe conquering type of escapade, and which is weird because it's just different variations of the same universe. You know what I mean? I like that whole that like eventually they'll tear each other apart or they'll try and save themselves or one of us will like. All of that though, I feel like could have been introduced in a movie and not in this though.
Yeah.
It's
but like you said, this is going to be inconsequential.
no,
Sorry,
very consequential.
sorry,
It would be
Well, I
consequential,
mean,
but
like
this-
like
the
what
way
you're going to
this
see
was
in the
done.
movie,
Yes, yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't. Yeah, what you saw here is
Yeah.
probably not
Well,
going to
because
matter.
the version of him here, a lot of people compared him to is Immortus, which is one of the Kang variants.
Right.
Which is instead of him going like and conquering and everything, he just kind of got old and became the end of time dude.
Right. Like I don't think there's any problem with that. Kind of taking the character, all the different versions of the characters, and making up your own storyline because you're not always going to be true to any particular comic.
Right.
So that's fine.
Yeah, but I like to your point. I think it's like when he gets stabbed by Sylvie and he's like, "I'll see you soon." So it's like he's probably done this before. This has probably happened in infinite.
Why did
other
she
Yeah.
want to
times.
kill him in the first place?
She's pissed
TVA.
because
She's just mad at
Ruined her
him.
entire life.
Yeah, the TVA just ruined her life, and so she blames him for all of that.
Right.
she got
just
taken
wants
as a
him dead.
variant kid,
Yeah.
and then she escaped, and then she spent her whole life
Oh,
running.
Now, when he
please.
said, "I'll see you soon,"
She's a
I
Loki.
thought
She knows. She craves subjugation. She knows what it's like.
when he said, "I'll see you soon," I thought he was talking about like as in like a joke, like you'll see one of my variants soon.
Yeah.
I think
thought
it's-
yeah, no, that's exactly what he means by
yeah,
that.
It's
that's what I-
both. We're gonna see that exact
Because
Kang probably again.
That
Okay.
Kang, I mean that is the guy who's playing. He's not
He is.
officially
Jonathan
Kang, right?
Majors.
no,
Jonathan
he
Majors
is.
is.
He's been confirmed.
No. I know he's going to play
But not
Kang,
Kang the
in the
Conqueror.
movie. Yeah, but this guy, he was not technically Kang, although
No,
he is
well,
Kang.
he's
He's a Kang, but
He
not
Who
Kang the
Remains.
Conqueror.
he who remains.
Which
Yeah.
is like I said,
Kang.
it's one
It's
of
a
these.
version of Kang.
Yeah, a
Well,
more
speaking
We've
of
seen
him,
Kang quite a lot.
What did you guys think of his performance? Because personally, I felt like it seems like a cheap Gene Wilder in Willy
was-
Wonka.
you
It's
got that
literally.
Yeah.
It was a little
Like-
overacting.
You won the
Little
factory.
overacting,
Yeah.
Ah,
He literally he's like, you can have all this.
And
You
he's
won
in
the
purple.
factory.
Yeah.
He's in purple.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like
listen.
just the kookiness of it, like, and don't get me wrong, you can be kooky, but it just felt like it was trying to be something else rather than doing its own original thing. It was like you're doing Gene Wilder right now. We see it.
I mean, he's crazy because it's the end of time.
Yeah, and he's
but
been there
also,
for
like,
time,
And
I
he's been
feel-
alone for a
he's been
long
alone.
time.
I kind of
yeah.
feel like they
I
should
didn't
have
have
like.
anything wrong with the performance. I thought
I
it was
feel they
good.
should have like aged him or made him a little more like if you're gonna go wacky, like he didn't look wacky.
That might
Yeah.
might
Like,
have
it-
read better if he had like a beard.
Yeah,
and,
he looked a little polished, but I get it. Like he's a fourth dimensional being. He's not going to age like that.
Right.
But
He looked like James Gunn. That would have definitely let you know that.
I like, and I don't want to
Spend
take
some
anything
time.
away from Jonathan Majors because I'm sure he'll be able to do more if he had less, more time than just a scene at the end of the series.
Right,
Not
right.
much you can do there.
I want to see him angry as
Yeah.
Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
I want to see him
yeah.
with the CGI suit on and throwing time
they're gonna-
vortexes at Doctor Strange
Do you
and
think
shit
they're
like
gonna
that.
go all out with the suit?
I think so. I think
Fuck
I think
yeah,
it's
they
gonna
have
be
to.
like a Thanos
Okay,
Whole
if they
statue,
don't,
like,
if they
he's
don't
wearing a
redesign
similar
it,
suit, but
in,
his head's exposed.
if they don't redesign it, inspired by no, they're gonna go the Thanos route. It's not gonna. You're not gonna be looking at Jonathan Majors. You're gonna be looking at CGI recreation of Jonathan Majors.
I think depends because at the very end, at the the post credit scene or like the very end of that, when
Yeah.
you see the statue
Yeah.
of Kang,
I
he
think it's
doesn't
gonna go
have
like
the
that.
face effect of the classic
I
comic.
like I said, I do not think that
But
it's
you
gonna
can't
be
not.
that, but I think it's gonna be a variation of
At
that.
some point, I think he might put a helmet on, but I don't think it'll be his main.
I feel
look
I've seen
throughout.
Yeah.
renders of that, and I don't know if that's just what people have done online of Jonathan Majors in that image, but
Boss Logic probably got to it.
yeah,
Yeah, that might be why you think that.
makes sense.
Is he?
So-
Was he supposed to be in the what's that?
I
10
hate this
Rings
fucking
movie?
show.
Shang-Chi. He's supposed to be in the next Ant-Man, and I think
Oh,
maybe
okay.
Multiverse of Madness.
Who?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
is.
Jonathan
He's gonna be in
Majors.
there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's also Loki is all Tom
Hiddleston.
Fiddlesticks is also in.
You got Cumberbund and Fiddlesticks together in one movie.
He's yo, I would love to see Loki and Doctor Strange square off though. I really wanted them to beat the
like to
shit
see
out
that.
of
That'd be
each other
cool. I
in
wanna
Thor
see 'em
Ragnarok.
kiss.
Okay.
I
Well,
wanna see 'em make
there's a
out.
You could
place where
probably
that
find
exists.
somewhere where
You
that
could probably
exists.
find that.
You
Yeah.
could
With all
find
the
that.
pictures of Lola Bunny.
Yes. Yes.
Please,
They
can we
done
talk
her
about
dirty.
that instead? This sucked. This was so bad.
Oh, Space Jam was definitely so much better.
Oh, but I can have way more fun talking about
They
that.
are doing a season 2 of Loki.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
okay.
that was at the very end. There was a stamp on the TVA
Which means
paperwork.
we will be watching it and
Wow.
talking
what
about
a
it.
terrible
This show.
post-credit scene, by the way. Like
There was one on the last episode.
there was the
Was there?
It wasn't
the
a
reveal.
post credit scene. It was just as part of the ending, like the whole ending of the thing is like kind of like going through paperwork and everything like that. There's just a a stamp down, and it's like Loki will return for season 2.
I consider that the post-credit scene.
Oh,
I was
okay.
I was
'Cause
expecting one, and then
fast-forwarded,
I
I
got
didn't
that.
see anything.
I didn't watch
because
it.
it's done
I
in
was
the
like,
exact same style as the rest of the actual credits.
credits.
So
Oh,
there wasn't
okay.
anything that was like cut to black.
Listen,
and then
Kevin
something.
Feige,
it.
he can make the hell out of some movies.
Not so
He
much
is
TV.
struggling with TV though.
Yeah, he's still trying to get his sea legs, I guess, doing this.
Yeah.
but
I
it's
just think
still,
it,
it's
like,
no, it's not
for
great.
me, it's like there are no tight storylines. It feels like, yeah, I know you're building towards one big conclusion, but you got to give us some satisfaction at the end of the 42 minutes or whatever.
You also got to give me something I enjoy watching. I haven't enjoyed watching
Yeah, like
any of this.
baseline, I need to be like, listen, it's not the best thing I've seen, but I'm at least enjoying myself.
enjoyed episode
WandaVision,
3
I
and 4.
enjoyed myself
Like
somewhat as
it's
I was
been a
watching
while
that,
since I've
you
had
know?
a TV show like grab me by the throat and like make me be like, yeah, pretty much like hold me down and choke me. Like it's been a while
like,
since
like
I've had.
Doctor Strange is going to do to Loki.
Yes.
But it was just I don't know when there was no emotion when Sylvie killed him. I was
Oh.
like,
What about how about
It's
when
like,
they
I
kissed?
feel
It's like
nothing.
I don't care. I don't like
I
maybe
feel-
if you
yeah.
made that relationship, but it's like all
No, but
like,
it was
so
it didn't
weakly
pay
done,
off
like-
because the whole thing was like, okay, she killed him, and like you
Now
do.
This
what?
conversation's making me sad.
I'm just making you
Yeah.
sad tonight, bud.
Yeah, do you guys want to talk about The Mummy
Let's
instead?
talk
That's such a
about-
better movie.
I will
Those
say,
scarab beetles.
I think we
Which
should
area
probably
your
do have me watch The Mummy, and then I can give you a fresh perspective on The Mummy. Not that you need it. Not
You've
that you-
never seen The Mummy?
No, we talked
That was
about
the
this
first
last
time
week.
Liz
I've never
saw
seen
it
it.
too.
I'll gladly
yeah.
watch it. If it's better than Loki, I'll gladly watch it.
Bro,
Okay.
this shit blows Loki way out of the water.
Perfect.
If when
I'll
you
watch this
watch
shit.
The Mummy, just remember that at one point in time, everything in that movie was the bar was
Alive.
set for other summer blockbusters, and then they did it
When did it come
again
out?
with the second Mummy.
Late 90s?
1999 was the first one, and the second one's
Early.
2001, I think.
Okay.
But
okay.
it's on par. I'm gonna get flack from saying this. It's on par with like Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Bold
The
statement, but
first
okay.
one, at least the
Okay.
first one.
Yes, at the very least.
We'll see what the
You
audience
know, it's
thinks
kind of
about
like,
that, though.
you know, the first Indiana Jones is a classic. The first Mummy is a classic. Temple of Doom, I can't stand. A lot of
Yeah, it's
people
not great.
can't stand The Mummy Returns. I don't think anybody has seen The Mummy 3, Tomb of the Emperor Dragon.
Oh, who's in that one?
Jet Li.
Jet Li.
It's Jet Li. And
It's not Brendan Fraser?
Oh,
yeah,
no,
it's
there is-
not
it's
good
it's
as
kind
well.
of a case study
New
in what
Mummy.
happens when
New
you get
different
Sean
Mummy.
Connery versus Jet Li. That's pretty much what happens.
I don't think I've actually seen the third one. Maybe I will give it a watch.
Well, that'll
I
be
got
a
it
game-
in
that'll be a
4K.
game night. coming up.
That's game night.
Someone in the chat asked when you guys think season 2 will come out.
Of Loki?
Loki?
It depends.
Has-
I
hasn't
hope
even
never.
started shooting yet.
Well,
I'm
they
assuming,
gotta
so-
they gotta do
They
they
gotta
gotta,
do, like, the
do other
impactful.
shit
Yeah.
first. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
they
have
got
different units.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
but they
focus
got
different
one
things.
guy doing all the creative stuff. You know what I
I'm
mean?
assuming most of the planning has been laid out, and besides the fact.
Oh
that
yeah,
had
they have
all
a
of-
roadmap to
they've
2028.
already
They
had
said.
all
Yeah.
of COVID to figure things out.
I
you
think
know?
it's more of that. I think because we know when the next 10 years of Marvel movies are going to be released. It's
Yeah.
just going to 5 or whatever. Regardless,
I'm sorry.
we know the next 5 years of when Marvel movies are going to be released. So
I'm-
they're just going to throw it in kind of
Yeah.
like
They're just going to shoehorn it
they're going to
somehow
be like,
in
okay,
there.
after this fourth Ant-Man and maybe over here
Well-
when we kill this one guy, yeah, we'll just fit another bad
So,
series.
do you
Just
think?
kinda-
How do you?
just
What do you
move
think the
this out of
direction
the
of the
way.
series is going to be? Is it going to like follow more TVA type stuff? Like,
No.
I guess it does.
No.
Because we're going to see what happens
Don't.
to Loki. So
You know what they should do? They should stick Loki in a fucking pirate ship and just rip off Pirates of the Caribbean, and that would be great.
love that.
would be-
And
That
that's
would be
what
awesome.
matters, yes.
There you go. That's what I want.
That actually sounds way better.
Yes,
than
would
shit
watch
that
Tom
I just
Hiddleston
watched
with a
this past
peg leg and
weekend.
an eye patch and
There
a
we
bird that
go.
talks shit the entire time. It would be the greatest thing.
I would
I'd
watch
love
that.
the best part about this series is that, like, although Marvel is known for the interconnected stuff, is that the fact that this didn't have to be, because it was literally outside of the timeline. You could have done anything.
Pirates.
You could have done pirates,
Could've done
and it would have
pirates.
worked.
Also, with all the variants, why wasn't there
Cowboy.
a pirate Loki? We saw a crocodile Loki, but not a pirate Loki. That would have been a great way to then segue
All
into
those
season
Lokis
2.
were butt pirates, though, and that's something you can count on.
When you got nobody but yourself at the end of the universe.
And we do know that Loki has an attraction to himself.
There we go.
What's that episode of Family Guy where they all get stranded on the island and they have the orgy and the cruise ship goes by?
Anybody feeling anything yet? Nope, not yet.
Yep.
Peter, you're eating my legs.
All
All
right, I
right.
think it's a perfect opportunity to move on.
Yeah.
To a good movie. A quality.
A critically
Quality.
acclaimed film.
Actually,
acclaimed.
we have some time, so I'll fill it in real quick. I went and saw Fast and Furious 9. Not going to talk about the movie. I'm just going to say, listen,
The animals at the movie theater.
you get what you pay for when you see a Fast
More
and Furious
Italians.
movie, okay?
Did you go with your family?
No.
It's about
It's not
family,
going
Pat.
with my
But
But
family.
it's about
Everybody is family when you're in that movie theater.
True.
Oh, well, my family was acting like some real assholes. Because once again, at the movies, people act like it's a fucking amusement park. Okay? Just what? You okay? You good?
I'm gonna take this moment to stretch out.
Yeah. Guy behind me to the right was had taking a phone call as the movie started for the first 25 minutes of the movie. Girl behind me to the left was
Wait, could you
straight
hear?
up. Yes.
What was he talking about?
Oh, I don't know. He kept trying to tell somebody where he was, and
Yeah.
And
It's called a movie.
Yeah.
I'm at the
movies.
Can
And
you
then
pick me up?
somebody behind
pick
me,
me up?
Mom?
behind
I'm
me
scared.
was playing music like out of their phone, and then someone in front of them to the left was taking pictures with their flash. And this went on for about 20,
Of the
25
movie
minutes.
or of themselves.
It wasn't above
Of their feet on the sticky floor.
seat
Oh.
height.
Oh.
Um,
And then some guy came in and said, "This has been a dramatic interpretation of what you should not do." And they all stood.
I fucking
like
wish.
the NASCAR
I
actors.
fucking wish, because that
the movie.
that would have had more explanation than what I went through. But I went to I
Or a
ended up
gas
going
leak.
and getting the manager. I did. I went. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? She's like, what's going on in the theater? I was like, there
What's
is
not going on.
there's
in the theater?
I said the words, it's absolute pandemonium is what I said. Those are my exact words. I was like, there's some guy taking a phone call, somebody's having a concert on the other side, and there's a photo op in the front.
I think somebody's giving birth.
Yeah. So she goes, all right, well, I'll go in with you. And I was like, okay, great. So when you
Thanks,
go in,
Mom.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you'll start telling everyone and they'll all know that
not
They're
I
all
gonna
going to
called.
look right at you.
So as soon as she walks in and has her like flashlight, the guy gets off his phone immediately. He's like, oh, really, just puts it away. Like the lady who is playing music, they go over to talk to her, and somebody, the person who was taking pictures, stands up like Manchurian Candidate, like right on the button.
And fights the manager.
Goes over and goes, excuse me, what's the problem? Like, then they start having like an altercation. She's like, well, she needs that music to relax. He's like, well, then she can't play it in the movie theater. Like,
Yeah,
she has to go out in the
headphones,
fall.
like-
Yeah.
Like, and then she goes, oh, and were you the one taking pictures? And then somebody next to us straight up goes, yes, she was. She was the one taking pictures. I saw that shit.
I saw
Mind
the whole
you,
thing.
like Vin Diesel's talking about family, and they're like almost about to CGI in Paul Walker at one point. Like all this going on while my theater can't figure out that they're in a movie theater and they're just supposed to shut the fuck up and watch the movie. So finally, it all gets settled. The guy with the phone just left. Never saw him again.
He needs to take that phone call.
The girl with the music, I guess she put headphones in. Either way, it started again for about 2 minutes and then stopped after the manager left. And then I never saw any pictures get taken. But, it didn't really, ruin the experience for me. It's fucking Fast and Furious. But it just like, people don't know how to go back to the movies. So that's kind of why it was a joy to watch this on the fucking couch today.
Wrap
Yeah.
that up. Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk.
What do you think is going to be the most unhinged, like, redone social experience? Like, movies clearly unhinged right now because everybody's been on their couch.
Oh, it's the Wild West.
Expos, you think so?
Too many
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I think like professional work careers where it's like everybody's like, oh, we're going to, this re-networking event or something like that. It's just going to be fucking chaos.
People are going to be plastered
Well,
by 10
my
in the
company
morning.
just hosted one. It was like half virtual, half in person in Napa Valley.
Yeah.
And like
that
it's,
wine?
yeah, it's like
Catalina
I'll do
wine.
the virtual. I'll be at home.
People are
It's going to be pandemonium.
drinking wine, all horned up, and they're talking to their colleagues they haven't seen in 2 years.
Dude, when I go back to
God,
the office, it's going to
never.
be mayhem.
Never. I could never.
Oh man.
It doesn't happen on purpose. It just happens.
It just happens.
Catalina
It just
fucking
happens.
wine.
That's
man.
true. That's true. You don't suspect those things, but they
Some-
find their way.
Something just takes over.
on God, baby girl.
That is the actual first good use of that drop.
Oh, there's been so many better ones.
And an even better follow up. All right. I guess we can stop talking about Napa Valley. Space Jam, A New Legacy. Stop.
Thank you.
It's not.
So
that's
when
Barney
does
Rubble in
LeBron
the
get
crowd
his
cheering.
Oscar?
So I think a lot of times on this show we talk about how we judge movies based upon what they're trying to do, right? And that's why, like, on Black Widow or like something else that we did where we did this,
Black Widow's a
we're
perfect example.
we're willing to look past some flaws because like this is still doing better, like still doing something better than something else in this genre of movie. This movie, I feel like, doesn't do anything well. and therefore it should be told that it's doing everything wrong. Like, not one thing was done great in this movie besides the eye candy and Don Cheadle. But you know, yeah.
But the one thing that it did do is this was literally just a Warner Bros. Dick sucking fest.
Yes.
That's
This
all it was. You know what it did well? Warner Bros. Sucked its own dick well. That's what it did.
I'm kind of. You really want to see
It's just, they blew themselves so well.
We got all the good franchises.
You guys know about.
I'm just saying, didn't you just buy Warner Brothers? Like, I'm just, is that a great idea?
We don't talk about
Okay.
that. Merge.
Dan
Merge.
didn't buy anybody.
I didn't
He's
buy
an individual.
So
Danny bought stock in Warner Brother.
I also didn't do that.
I actually fucking bought stock in AT&T, and I just got remembered about that.
I just got remembered about that.
I remember.
I just got remembered.
I sold
just
my
got
AT&T stock
remembered.
right before that happened. I was like, maybe I should have held on. Oh,
This
well.
movie to me looked like it should have been a Spy Kids movie. It had the visual quality of a Disney Channel movie plus Spy Kids, like that Game Over Spy Kids movie. Dude, we'll get into it, but when he was falling through those worlds on his back like this, it looks like we filmed that in here
So-
in the fucking chroma key.
Well, okay, actually,
Well, he's
so
not an
there's
actor. He's an athlete.
so
he
there's
should
two
have moved
things.
his body better.
He even says it.
So two things. Two things. Right off the
We're
top.
gonna hear that a lot
We're
in the
gonna
next
hear it a
few minutes.
Two things right off the top. The producer of this film is Ryan Coogler, who wrote and directed Black Panther. So he's just a
Okay.
name that's attached to it for sure.
Okay.
The other thing is that there are 6 writing credits for this screenplay.
Let's name them right now.
I don't know them. I just wrote down
Call
that there
them
were
out.
6. Oh, they know who they are.
Get them in the chat.
One of
Um,
them was the algorithm.
And this is what I wrote. This is what I wrote during the first scene when they were doing the basketball stuff. I wrote, "This is awful. This is something I would make." And it's true because I've actually been a part of film productions that have made better like just dialogue.
Come on, son. You
or
can't
like
play games.
even action sequence better than lit shot, like framed, everything better than what the fuck that was for the first 10 minutes.
You know what I did take away from that first 10 minutes when they're on his own personal basketball court? That there's a machine that you can yell ball to, and it just passes you a
Danny,
ball.
I don't know if you've ever
That
heard
was-
of movie magic.
No. That thing's got to be real.
gotta let
I
you know.
guarantee LeBron James has something like
Algae
that.
rhythm.
He's got something
He's
like
not
that.
real too, but
What? No, there's
But
got to be something
it
like
also
that.
was a LeBron dick sucking movie because
hands
every
down.
Oh my God.
10-year-old
Hands down.
LeBron, you're a once in a generational talent. You got to stop playing Game Boy. You got to get back on there. You can't have fun. You're gonna be the king. King Bron, King James, King
James.
I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ, we get it.
Um,
Like,
Do you think
Yeah.
that's part of his contract? Where
That's
he's like,
what I was
I
wondering.
want this many millions, and they have to refer to me as King
I want
James.
this many millions and this many million times that they refer to me as King James.
The can't be great without putting in the work line was obviously an insert. Not like they shot that, not like they did that scene a whole bunch of times and they shot from different angles. Like literally
ADR.
they were there
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, we forgot to
We
film
forgot that
this.
line."
Let's set up this camera right in front of your face and we're just going to do it once because I'm a moron and so are you." Like
But
the director of
someone
this
got
movie
Yeah,
was put on this movie
The AP
4
was supposed
days
to note that we needed
before
to
they
shoot
went
this.
into production. 4 days.
Wait, say that one more time.
The director of this movie left 4 days before they started filming, and they got a new one.
Saw this was a sinking ship, and that rat just.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously no creative direction. There's no and ability either. There's no ability to shoot a scene, and it's fucking bad. Like, I really can't tell you guys how much I fucking hated the beginning. Once they got into doing nothing but shooting on green screens, it was so much better.
No, the best part of the movie was when it was animated, fully animated.
Oh,
when
that
he's
was
in
cool
jail.
too.
That like when
I
it
was
got
hoping
to
they
that,
kept it the same
I
way
was
the whole
hoping
time.
too.
Yeah.
That literally like the first act or whatever you want to call it until he actually gets into the Toon world and he's animated. I was like, oh, I hated that.
His
Now
voice
I'm kind
acting's
of-
worse than his real acting.
which
though.
is
pretty bad.
somehow,
It's somehow.
Yeah, but like we got Big Chungus, which I was happy about.
Oh, dude.
Did we? I missed that.
I missed Big
Oh,
Chungus.
damn it. I missed Big
Chungus.
Chungus.
Did you? No one saw this?
Pat, pull it up.
I'll look it up.
I didn't. I
see
missed
it.
Big Chungus.
Yeah, we got back when LeBron first, meets. He's doing the rabbit season, duck season thing, and he's talking about it. He turns into Big Chungus.
He doesn't turn into Big Chungus. He turns into Elmer Fudd.
Which is Big Chungus?
No. That's not Big Chungus. Oh. Wait.
In the original episode, he's copying.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. No, I know.
Got it.
That is Big Chungus. However, when he was falling like through like all the worlds and everything, that was
Joe,
just
I
a
bet
Warner
your
Bros.
NFT is
dick sucking
worth a lot.
fest. Like, hey,
Yeah, I was
Game of
gonna say,
Thrones. Hey,
You
Wizard.
paid $18 for that
don't-
NFT, right?
Don't be surprised if we then see a Wizard of Oz remake coming
Remember
out and
Joe-
a Casablanca remake.
Joe bought an $18 NFT of Big Chungus.
And what a purchase it was. What a purchase it was.
Both of
I
us,
really
at least.
believed it because like Joe doesn't type LOL or LMAO in his chats. He goes, just spent $18. I'm the brand new owner of this here NFT,
And it's just a black image of Big
a
Chungus.
PNG of Big Chungus. Like that's all it was, and everyone was just like, "Wow, you really."
I got a follow-up text. I'm just like, so how do NFTs really work?
I don't know, man. It cost me
this is-
$18.
That's literally it. That's literally all it is.
Just Big Chungus.
I got
Shit.
Pat texted me, told me about it. So then I reached out to Joe.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like you gotta tell me about
I
it."
can't believe you actually believe that.
He didn't give us any indication
As soon
either
as I saw it,
way.
I was like, oh no, he
I
didn't
can't
actually
believe you
do
thought Big Chungus is only $18.
Yeah, that's true. That's
it.
true.
That is
I
a
am
low
coming in
bar.
pretty
Savvy
low.
investment now.
I'm gonna flip that.
I
shit.
have written here shot like a pile of trash cans. Again,
Shot like a Disney Channel
trash
original
cans
movie.
probably give better performances though than literally everything.
Nothing
in the
about the
movie.
way it was shot bothered me because I was just so caught up with how much I hated the story and the acting and everything else.
This movie visually will look, obsolete in 6 months.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like when they were going through, like into the computer.
Oh, I
and
actually
into
wrote
all
that
of-
down.
Yeah,
Look.
when they're
Scratch that. Trash cans give better performances.
you're consistent.
Okay, we keep going.
When they're going into like the thing and they're into like this big serververse and it's like going through all of the technology and like all of like the little electricity things, and I was like, this fucking looks horrible.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like a cartoon. Like I know it's a cartoon, but like I don't know, an off-brand Nickelodeon.
The
version
guy,
of
the
something.
water guy, like the water fire guy that was Klay
Wet
Thompson.
Fire.
Wet Fire. Yeah. He wasn't rendering properly. Like he was glitchy at parts when he was like actually on the court. Like he
I
was
didn't notice.
actually physically glitchy.
Yeah,
and not
there was
like,
not all those frames were there.
No, it was exactly. It was they were dropping frames as they were doing this. This was just an eye orgy that was just way too much.
The most unironic line in the movie was acting never goes well with athletes, and I wrote that will be LeBron's famous last words.
That's gonna be on his tombstone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give Michael Jordan some credit in
No.
the original Space Jam where he didn't try to act. He didn't actually even try to act. The most acting he actually did was he like spun his head when he got hit in the head or something like that.
Yeah.
How great was it? How great was it when LeBron was getting hit in the head with the ball? And it was just him going like,
The CGI ball and just blah, 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 blah.
Michael Jordan's lack of attempting to act was better than LeBron James.
There's
trying
definitely
to act.
multiple times.
Michael Jordan was natural.
He was
where
just Michael
even
Jordan.
though it wasn't good acting, he was just being Michael Jordan. Whereas LeBron was just like, "Hey, I'm doing my best."
There is a scene in the movie where LeBron falls through a hole, and legitimately the audio they use, the max volume LeBron gives while he's falling to his death is like that was it. Like that was it.
that was way more than he gave.
I was gonna say that was
way
more
more.
emphatic.
That's bad. That's,
Like that was it. It's just like, hey bro, you're falling down a hole. He's just like,
he's like, "No, I'm
Shit.
standing on a green screen. No, in the movie, you're gonna be falling down a hole."
you like that, Joe? You like my mating call?
Did you guys like? Were you really disappointed, as I was, the fact that they didn't give LeBron any time to grow a relationship with any of the Looney Tunes. It was just like find them and then they just start playing.
They didn't even
Yeah.
give LeBron a time to play basketball in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah,
the
he was
man
barely
is
playing.
good at not good at one thing, but the man's claim to fame is basketball.
Yeah,
He-
tell LeBron James he's good at one thing.
I'm not. That's why I'm not. I'm going on camera record saying that. But like,
Get you on record here.
I feel. Yeah, there was no. I mean, maybe it was just because he can't act in any sense of it, and that's why
you're already committed to doing a movie.
Yeah, I know, but maybe that's why they didn't give him any character, like any like interpersonal development.
But I mean, like, let the Looney Tunes be Looney Tunes, because then at the end, when
That's fun.
This
Nick.
is
They
the
can't
worst.
have
At the
fun.
This is the
when they're
worst
doing-
rendition of Bugs Bunny
at
I've
the
seen in
end,
my life.
you know how they're like, oh,
he sounded terrible.
Yeah.
LeBron
he
won't
sounded
let
bad.
us do, won't let us be us. When was that ever a thing?
Yeah.
They like had it in the beginning. The Looney Tunes acted like Looney Tunes. He was like, "Come on, you guys, you got to get serious." That
fundamentals, and then Lola was
well,
like,
he said
cool.
it one time.
Yeah, but
You know,
Lola, and then Lola was like, "Yeah, we'll do some fundamentals," and there was no like, no one in the. They weren't all sulking in
yeah,
the corner.
had he like yelled
or-
at Daffy Duck for doing something and like
Yeah, he was not an asshole throughout the
Yeah.
whole thing, and he was just like, oh, when he got to the court later on, he's like, "It's my way or the highway," and Bugs is like, "Oh, so that's the kind of king you are."
yeah.
Like that was that right before the end of the situation happened.
I mean, we also have to remember this is a children's movie.
Well, it's like, why do you think the children are dumb? Like, they're not dumb. They will appreciate
Worst-
that story.
Worst rendition of Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Greatest character arc he's ever had. He was just
He
like
died.
He
he's like,
dies.
my fucking family forgot who they were
Mm-hmm.
because of all this fame and glory from Don Cheadle, that piece of shit. And what's it called?
Incredible outfits.
Algae.
Yeah,
loved
and
his
instead
outfits.
of abandoning and being like, all right, fine, I'll see you guys later, he goes out to get them and then gives his life for all of them for like, what was it, the whole universe?
Yeah,
pretty much.
the Toonverse.
Or what, the likeness of
Serververse.
LeBron James
It's because
in
his kid's a shit
perpetuity.
programmer and can't program that step.
yeah.
You can't
That's
do
why
that one
Bugs-
fundamental
That's
move.
when you go home and you sit your kid down and you're like, you killed Bugs Bunny.
But now
I just
Bugs
want you
Bunny,
to know that.
Bugs Bunny lives in the real world now,
know,
right? That's
yeah.
how it works.
Well, I like also it's like the fact that it was like this one move deletes this character. It's like you really couldn't think of anything that had made more sense.
Pull
Like,
that sucker right up to your face.
No.
I also love as Bugs
that's
Bunny
good.
is dying, his final words are, "That's all, folks." I was like, "Oh my god,
Oh,
did they
my
really do
God.
that?"
I know.
Jesus Christ.
It's really.
I was thinking that this was because, like, Joe and I were talking about it the other day. The original Space Jam was supposed to, like, sort of relaunch Looney Tunes, like, into, like, a new generation. And I was thinking that them killing off Bugs Bunny was Warner Bros. Saying, and just like that, we're done with Looney Tunes. We're closing the book on Looney Tunes.
well,
Them cutting off Bugs' backstory for the Harry Potter joke was hilarious. I actually laughed out loud at
remember
that.
that.
Bugs was telling about like basically how he got to his predicament, and as they're flying over Harry Potter world,
I'm a Hufflepuff.
LeBron James just cuts him off. Just goes, "Is that Harry Potter world?" And they fly to it, and then it just cuts back to LeBron in Hufflepuff like gown. He's just like, "I always knew it," or something like that.
Yeah,
I
and
was
then
like,
Bugs is
"It's a
like,
great
"Nerd
joke."
alert.
It's like, yeah, nerd alert. Yeah, it's like great joke.
how cringy was the Porky Pig rap? It's like this is what kids will like.
That was the
The
reason I
kids will
did
find
not
this
want
funny.
to watch the movie because
Notorious
I saw,
P.I.G.
because I saw that in the preview.
That's kind of funny.
That
though.
was
that,
the
that,
one
that,
reason.
that joke was kind of
Yeah,
funny.
like you have an Achilles heel for pig related puns.
I did.
Pig
Chris
rapping.
P. Bacon.
Chris P. Bacon.
That's funnier than anything that happened in the movie.
What are some of the other ones, Joe? Crispy bacon.
There's some good ones.
There's some good ones out
well,
there.
so I thought it was like an interesting contrast between that. So they're doing like the Porky Pig rap because the kids will like it. And then on the other hand, earlier in the movie, there was an MC Hammer reference. It's
That's
like,
right.
who is this movie for? This
Yeah.
movie should not have been for kids. It should have been for people who were nostalgic for the first one, like Toy Story 3 was.
Yeah.
Perfect
It's like
point.
this is for us, not for children.
No for kids.
Justice League coming after Daffy Duck was amazing character motivation to get Daffy Duck out of DC world. I love how as soon as they turn for the hostage around, Porky Pig just goes, "I'm so sorry." that was really funny. Wile E. Coyote in Mad Max, excellent.
That was
Perfect.
funny.
That might have been
That
my
was
favorite.
really
Oh,
funny.
no,
Those interstitials-
Sylvester
those-
as
the
Mr.
interstitials were great.
Bigglesworth was
Yeah.
awesome.
That
that
And
was
then
great.
Elmer Fudd
hysterical.
is Mini Me.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm trying to think.
There was
what's the beginning? Okay, you know the gag in the beginning where Bugs paints the tunnel and runs through it, and then he comes back driving the car. That is one of those like Warner Brothers Looney Tunes gags that I never thought I'd see it again, and I wasn't looking forward to it. But I'm glad they brought it back because that reminded me of when I originally saw that gag with Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, where they paint the tunnel, he runs through it. And when Wile E. Coyote hits it and falls down, he gets up and there's headlights coming at him and he can't figure out what he is. And that's like the first time they really obliterated. Yeah. Like it just took me back to when I was a kid and I used to like piss my pants laughing at these cartoons. And this just did not do any of that for me.
No,
like
no. Even this is a little random, but like even the like the actors in the background who were playing like the Batman, like during the game, the ones who were like Batman and Robin. The White Walkers.
What
that
was
were all
their
in the
direction?
background. No idea. That's what I was literally about to say the same thing. I was like, what were they told to do? Because you see like the Agent Smith back there, just like
chilling.
just like
I liked
reacting
the
generally.
Mr. Freeze, like the
Mr. Freeze.
Arnold
Yeah, that was
Schwarzenegger.
funny.
Yeah.
Well,
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was also cool.
Rick and Morty cameo.
Rick and Morty came through.
I love what did they say to him? I like how they wrote it. They wrote it like Rick and Morty too.
Like,
Turns out we can't like,
It's like
you
we
know,
fucked
whatever.
up your little weasel enough that we could. Like,
Yeah.
Good for Justin Roiland.
money.
Of course, Lola Bunny is on Themyscira.
that was good. Those were
I
my
enjoyed
favorite.
that.
made
That
the
was
most
my
sense.
favorite
Yeah.
part of the movie when they were going to get all the people in the different like films. That was the best part of the movie for me.
Yeah, and then everything else after that was
So like
Yeah,
ma-
just
those
give me a
might-
half hour of that.
those
yeah,
might
and
have
that
been
even
fun,
wasn't that high.
But it was like that was the big Warner Brothers circle jerk, and it's like they just spent so much time doing that none of the characters actually got development. It was just showing them in other franchises. So while I might have enjoyed it in the moment, I think it's worse off for the film.
I really enjoy.
I'm just gonna turn this more towards your mouth. That's all. Keep going. Yeah, there you go. That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
You like
Yeah.
that? Yeah. I will say I really
Oh, yeah,
enjoyed
that's a lot better.
watching this with
You're fine.
with Joe and Matt. I enjoyed watching it with them as opposed to then the final 25 to like 30 minutes that I watched by myself. That's what like I enjoyed just like watching it with people and just making fun of it and kind of joking around.
watched it
and
by
then
myself.
We
I
should've
watched
done
it.
that. I watched
yeah,
it by
I
myself.
then
I was
watched it by
miserable. Oh, we
myself and I
should've
was
watched
just
it
like,
here.
this is brutal. Yeah. No,
What's,
yeah.
what's our
should've-
next streaming title? We should do it here.
should do it. Yeah, we should
beforehand.
watch it.
Yeah.
together.
No, I'm fine with
I
that.
got home from my 7-hour drive from New Hampshire.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Alexis wasn't home. I just sat on the couch by myself, ordered a pizza, and fell asleep on the couch watching Space Jam.
Like this would be the type of movie we should have just watched together.
That's
Had
a depression
good time.
commercial.
Yeah.
Like, that's like a,
Yeah.
if this is you,
Have you
Please.
ever come back
Yeah.
from a long drive and just curled up inside of a pizza,
watching Space
watching
Jam.
Space
watching
Jam?
LeBron James try his
Please
best.
take Nexium. Like,
Wondered where it all went wrong.
As you watch LeBron James, also wonder where it all went wrong.
Nah, this
Acting.
motherfucker made a mint for sure for doing
I also
this.
love even the Warner Brothers execs that were in like the what?
Yeah.
Sarah
the most
Silverman is in it.
and
cringy-
Stephen Yun.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was so.
Those
cringy.
weren't like good cameos. Like
No.
Mike Epps was kind of funny to see. He's put on some weight.
Where was Mike Epps?
Was he not? God, what character was he? Oh my God, he's a security guard.
Oh, okay.
I'm an idiot. It's not Mike Epps. It sounds like Mike Epps though. I've always thought that guy was Mike Epps. Yeah,
You
Everett.
know what's did you guys know that the character? I don't know the actor's name, but the guy
It
who
sounds like him for sure.
Malik,
Yeah.
who was his childhood friend. I didn't realize until that movie was over. It's like, oh, that was his childhood friend who is now like his,
I didn't catch
hanging out
that.
with the family as
Oh,
I
that
thought
was
it
supposed
was-
to be like. I thought that was his agent.
Yeah, I
or
thought that was his
something.
agent,
Yeah.
too.
I
maybe
thought
maybe
it-
it was his agent,
I thought
but like
it was
that
his
was
uncle, because didn't he call him Uncle Malik?
Oh, did he?
But I think it might just
Clearly
be like a
younger
colloquial.
than-
No, that would have been
very,
Dom.
very young uncle.
Yo,
the Dom called him.
the
Maybe.
bedroom scene where he's showing him the video game. Once again, shot like a piece of shit.
Did you see how their bedroom was laid out?
Oh my God, the way their
bed is in
bedroom.
the dead center of that
Yeah,
room.
the
that's
way that their
right.
bed
they
was
had to
laid
stage
out.
it like that so LeBron could sit down on it behind the desk.
I The way that their
cursed.
bedroom set was laid out was not. I was like, I wouldn't sleep there.
No,
Nope.
it's so exposed. Like
Yeah.
you're dead center.
You're just in
Yeah.
the middle. Oh God, no.
Fuck
Just
that.
make me think about my old bedroom from the Jerome house.
Was it
Jerome
like that?
house.
Were you in the
My
dead
bed
center
was in
of
the
the
middle,
bedroom?
but it was a really long bedroom, so I had my desk on one side.
Was that the middle?
Well, kind of. It split the room, so I had like an office on one side and then a couch and a TV on the other, to be like a little living room. So the bed was just kind of like splitting the room in two. So there are reasons to put the bed in the middle sometimes.
Not if you're LeBron James.
Not if you're LeBron James or his family.
Was this okay? Were these actors or was this his actual family?
Actors.
No,
okay.
they're
Actors.
So
actors.
I didn't
Yeah.
know.
They're not even
You got-
like the
you
same
can't-
names.
because-
You
as the
can't
family.
surround
Are they
a bad
actors?
actor with more non-actors.
Well, that's
you
what
gotta
I thought,
give
but
them
they
real
were,
actors.
They were not good either.
No,
like
no,
they-
not,
no.
and
Never said
again,
they were
They
great
weren't
actors.
terrible.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like a 13-year-old boy is a piece of shit actor. Like,
Well, unless you're
Someone
watching
get this kid a
WandaVision, I
Razzie.
will talk shit about those child actors.
but like that's I thought it legitimately might have been his family because I thought like the quality of the acting and it just seemed like I don't know, like level of either expertise or experience or anything. They felt like these were all these first time roles.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was just like, this has to be his real family, right?
No,
Like,
no, it was not.
Okay,
It was,
so apparently this cost 150 million to make, and they only made 31 million on.
cost 150 million to make because they used every single
Yeah, except
theme, every
here's-
single franchise, like every
Okay,
single.
here's the bullshit though. Is
I mean,
what
they
I
also
don't like
own it,
about
so
this
I'm not
shit.
sure how those rights that
you
license.
still
is,
gotta
um,
pay to put like
Look,
into the
look at
store.
this. Look at this. Best for family pick and NWB during pandemic. Well, what the fuck counts as a family pick? Because like, is Black
Fast
Widow
and Furious
is Black
9.
Widow and family
That's
and
all
Fast and Furious
family.
not? You know what I mean? Because those movies are meant for families to go see.
Black Widow. Did you say Black Widow?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's
No,
a,
it's
yeah.
PG-13 though.
So
I mean, you
bro,
can't.
you dude,
can't always just
when
bring a
parents see
fam-
Marvels, they're bringing their kids out to that
no,
shit.
but-
Like I said, the theater I was in was all families. with
Yeah,
small
exactly.
children.
Oh yeah, dude. That is
yeah,
100% a
same.
family.
Well, I meant family as
experience.
in like you could bring like even like as young
Family.
as 5. Like how
Yeah.
young were these kids?
They were young.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, children
Bad
can be
parenting.
exposed to mature themes and understand what's going on. Like you
Look
don't
at
always have
Pat.
to tell. Yeah, exactly.
Look
Look how
around.
he
Look
turned
at
out.
life.
Yeah,
It made about 32.
I think we have that.
Yeah.
The look around, look at life
Is
thing.
it on there?
Press all of them.
LeBron James.
Do we have it? We might have.
I know I sent. I was trying to
Oh,
look
well.
for it.
I might have
earlier.
put
know
it
I sent
on,
it over
yeah.
to you like a couple months ago.
It's in there somewhere.
It did do 32 million
Which is nothing up
that
against
good?
150 million though.
for the opening weekend.
Yeah, and I
You
wouldn't
think,
count
I think
it.
it's gonna probably fizzle out pretty quick, right?
I would assume it'll
well,
probably
It was also available for as long as you have an HBO Max
You'll never
subscription.
know
It was
those
available
numbers, though.
on HBO Max.
No.
No, but the thing is, what I'm saying is, like, if you compare it to Black Widow, you had to pay
Right.
Disney Plus for. This, they just if you have
But,
HBO Max,
okay,
hey, here you
so
go, take it.
I think it's like Mulan and some other shit. Cruella, I think they put out
was
also
another-
on
yeah.
Disney Plus.
yes.
The only one of those that ever made like bank, like took home a bag, was
movie-
Black Widow.
Yeah.
And that's not Disney power, that's Marvel power. That's MCU, that's brand recognition right there. You know what I mean? This was never going to do that. You know what I mean? Why this costs $150 million is fucking bonkers.
for the
like,
for the visual level of things and how bad it looked, it's a shame that they paid this much money for
Yeah.
this kind of movie.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle, what do we think?
It's so sad that he had to stoop to this level.
I mean, he probably got a bag.
I was.
Yeah,
I was gonna
exactly.
say.
I was
Exactly. I'd stoop
embarrassed
to that
for
level.
him the entire time. I was like, "Why are you doing this?"
Really?
Yeah.
It's Space Jam
Look,
too.
staging
like, of
his
course you're
career.
gonna-
I mean, it makes sense if it was somebody who's like young.
I mean, he was in Falcon Winter Soldier as well, so it kind of
Yeah.
seems par for the
He was
course.
also in Hotel Rwanda. Like the man has been in critically acclaimed things. I
And
get
he's-
it.
And I mean, he's got his own Disney Plus series coming out. Like, he didn't need to do this. It was like, why? Why are you in this movie?
because it's an opportunity to be a part of Space Jam too. Space Jam was a huge.
Also, it's one of those things where, like,
back
it's
in the
also a
90s.
job,
Is it a
too.
huge success?
It's a job
financially,
too. It's a
or
way
is
to
it-
stay
I don't-
relevant.
I
Is it
don't
a
know.
nostalgia
Let's see.
thing?
Let's see.
Yeah, let's see what it is. But it's very much a nostalgia
Also,
thing.
like
but it's
the laziest villain of all time, or like
It's the
not
premise
hit-
for it.
The premise of it was like really lazy.
Yeah, but I mean,
also if anyone was expecting this to be like amazing, oh my god!
I'm trying to
it was-
like. I think that
this was
the villain.
The
for
bar
this-
was so low.
I mean, I don't know.
I got
80
insulted
million
by
and
Okay, this was
250?
in 90.
This is
was in
96.
96 though,
Yeah.
so 80 million was a fuckload.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, it's still a fuckload now,
that's
but
the box office. But like I don't know, like maybe 4 years ago,
What did it
I
make on
went
like
and-
VHS?
I went and
back when
saw
VHS was a
Space
thing.
Jam, the
I
original
mean-
one, in movies again. They re-released.
I mean,
it.
we don't
Oh,
we don't
okay,
we don't
okay.
count like that.
I'm not counting that,
Yeah,
but yeah.
but I'm saying for him, for VHS though, they don't count that metric.
I know on this they don't count
Yeah.
it, but I mean they still probably made a min off VHS. I had the
yeah.
VHS.
All of them. Well, that was the thing too. I feel like merch back then,
True.
unbelievable. Like, cause like even you remember like getting toys from like McDonald's or Burger King.
Mhm.
Like I know they had like a Space Jam thing.
Yeah.
There is a Looney Tunes store.
There was,
There
yeah.
was.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like all of that shit. Like I feel Looney Tunes merch, and I mean, yeah, look at this. Like we're definitely gonna.
Toon Squad, $120.
Is it an actual? Is it an NBA approved jersey?
It's got Nike
It's got the
on
Nike logo, which
Oh.
yeah, I mean there was the
Strive for
Nike
greatness.
symbol that was in there when he fell through into Toon World. He
Yeah.
created a Nike
yeah,
symbol.
Nike got a lot of product placement in this
Oh,
movie.
what is that?
It's just a beetle.
Beetle. I don't want it near me.
Don Cheadle.
Oh, it's coming for
Smack a
you, bro.
beetle. Oh,
Bang!
There we
Done.
go.
I'm trying to figure out
I
how
hate
much
it.
how much LeBron got paid for this.
oh yeah, that's a good question.
How you trying to figure it out?
149 million.
The internet.
Okay.
I'm just
So
trying
you're
to
crunching
I'm
numbers.
just trying to think.
Yeah. He definitely got more on the back end though. For
He
sure.
definitely got percentage of
For
it. or
sure,
whatever.
for sure.
And he'll definitely get percentage of like any merch that's gonna come out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That LeBron action figure.
But like it was bad. Oh, also it was hysterical. The see if you can look up the what's it called? LeBron James was at the NBA Finals game last night.
Oh, where he's in the
And
cheetah print.
and
Yeah.
well, he's in the cheetah print, but they also had a lower third on him that was like in Space Jam 2, and it then showed like the IMDb and Rotten
Ratings?
Tomatoes rankings for it. Space Jam 2, 31% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was hysterical.
Let's see.
And
We
let me
never
see.
we didn't talk about the
Here,
Michael
this is-
the
this
Michael
is
B.
it.
Jordan.
That's true. We didn't.
Oh, the
Oh,
Michael
right.
B. Jordan. That was actually kind of funny. When they said
Right,
we
right,
found
right.
Michael Jordan, I was like, it's Michael B. Jordan.
I actually
I
thought
bet.
they might have brought Michael Jordan.
would've
I
been-
mean, that would have
Yeah.
been cool, but
I
there
was
was no
hoping.
fucking way
secret
he
for
was.
this whole time. That would have been an epic reveal.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Michael
Well,
Jordan comes
I
out.
didn't know that Michael B. Jordan was in this as a gag.
Which I thought it was kind of funny. I thought
That was
was
like one of the better
hysterical, yeah.
Looney Tunes moments.
Yeah.
Like,
We wanted Michael A. Jordan. You guys, Michael
Michael
B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
like
good.
his airness.
His Aaron is.
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
and
so
and they
this is-
played the music.
This
Oh.
is him at the finals last night. We're just read the bottom.
Read the bottom
Yeah,
of
just
the
says,
logo.
read it out loud.
Star,
Read it out loud.
LeBron James, star of Space Jam: A New Legacy, not anything else. But then right under that we have 31% on Rotten Tomatoes, 4.1 out of 10 of IMDb, and then 38% on Metacritic.
This is national television.
You dragging my
NBA
mans like
finals.
that.
Exactly.
That
They
shit.
did him dirty.
That lower third was supposed to tell people to go out and see the movie, and
Yeah.
it did the exact
and it did
opposite.
the exact opposite. It was like,
I
hey,
was-
this movie's shit.
I was almost wondering. I was like, "There's no way it was this." I was like, maybe it just auto-populated like the Metacritic score and everything. And I was like, "No, they wouldn't have
No.
coded that." I
No,
was,
Yeah,
they wouldn't have
no,
done that.
no.
That was
I was like, that somebody had to sit there and type that out.
Just typed
Yeah.
it out. Looked
Yeah.
up, got those metrics.
Joe, can we get a LeBron James in the chat?
LeBron James.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't think there's much more to say. It's
Yeah.
just this is a piece of shit.
if you were 10, would you have enjoyed this movie?
if I was 10,
10 years old.
I thought you were asking me if I were a 10, and I was like,
Pat, you are. a
first
10,
of
baby.
all,
First of all, I am fine.
probably, dude. If I was 10, I'd probably like this movie. I'd probably be more amped about like the cameos of other characters, like the one part where LeBron James kicks Batman's ass as Mr. Freeze. I would have gotten more giddy over that. But this, I was just like
during the basketball game, I was just like
doing
more
this
focused on looking in the crowd
because I
than
do
the
a-
game.
That's what
a
I'm wondering.
podcast.
Like
I honestly,
here for work today.
I honestly
This-
would have watched this podcast or no. I would have watched because I was a huge fan of Space Jam as a kid. I mean, this didn't tarnish my love of Space Jam, the Michael Jordan version, just because that is so in my mind is just like you can't touch that. Like that is something for me that will always
You
just
touch
be
my
cherished.
tra-la-la.
Yeah, exactly.
Did anyone
That
else-
was yeah.
Did you think it was weird that they didn't tie into the first one at all?
they
just
did like
They
two
did
nods
a
to
little
it.
little bit.
They
Not
didn't
too much
tie
time
them
has gone
together.
by.
They mentioned the first one.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't tie together like
25 years.
We did
Yeah.
this already. I
Just
thought he
like
aged
this sounds
gracefully.
familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't care.
I don't
Well, I
care.
mean,
don't
it
care.
seems like the obvious thing to do is just like have it be like a follow up rather than just totally different. And
They
it's
did
like,
have the little Monstars in there too.
They
at one
did,
point.
yeah,
But,
they
like,
had them
that's
in
not
there.
enough.
They,
That's not enough
there
for
were
me.
there were little
Where's
Nah,
Bill
it's
Murray?
That's true. Where's Bill Murray?
pulling his mic off.
Where's
He's
Where's
really
Wayne
mad
Knight?
about yeah.
Wayne.
Oh my god,
Knight.
they
Yeah,
had
I-
Wayne Knight as Newman. Yeah. However, again, one thing to also remember is that the original Space Jam was also not good. The idea of the original Space Jam is cool, but the movie was still not very good. If
I
it's
mean,
on
this
TV,
is just a
I'm
worse
still gonna
version
watch
of
it.
Ready. Have you guys seen Ready Player One?
Yeah,
That's true.
Exact same
that movie was
concept.
bad.
Way better movie. I mean, it's not great by any means, but
No,
it's still like
The
people.
book was really good.
Okay,
which I
people
read
complain about that movie. They're like, "Why do they have all these characters if it's not even in the lore of the world?
No,
it's
that-
just people's skins." It's like, fuck
That's
you,
fine.
dude. That's not the point. Like,
That's fine.
like that. I don't agree with that. But other than that, I think it's one of Spielberg's best in a few years for sure.
I think the problem I had with this, like, and the question I asked, like, would you enjoy it if you were 10, is like
Oh yeah, no, probably not. Not with everything else that's around.
No
No
but
way.
the original Space Jam, like, I felt it had
Magic.
Like, I know
There
it's
was
just,
something
it's
magical.
so nostalgic about it, is like totally clouding this vision. But I really felt like that movie, if I were to I haven't watched it in a while, but if I were to watch it again, I would be like, oh, okay, there's probably a little bit of tension, there's a little bit more like motive, there's a little bit more like, it just felt it had more depth into the story. And this one I feel was just kind of like, hey, you guys like Fortnite? Well, this is a video game now, and this is here's power ups.
They pulled him into
Yeah.
Toon World through a golf hole.
A golf hole. That's right. They
Like
threw a
last
golf hole.
time.
Like he
That
got like a hole
moved.
in one. Yeah.
And it was like in a situation where like the Looney Tunes existed in our world, except they lived underground. Whereas like this one is kind of like, hey, we're actually a computer algorithm.
It's like,
this exists in like a
it
cyberverse.
just
But
feels
like
so pandering. It's like, oh, kids like
Serververse.
computers and video games
That's what
and
I'm-
rap
that's what I'm
music.
saying.
It's like
whereas like the
Just
original
write a good movie.
Space Jam had a Pulp Fiction reference in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it actually, yeah, like it was just I don't know, the original one again.
Yo,
I went back, I rewatched it a
Bugs
couple of months
Bunny.
ago, and it was still it was fine. I was just like, I can see why I loved this as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But like watching it now, it's like it's fine.
Bugs Bunny straight up shot a guy who was
That's true.
coughing during his piano recital. Okay, the Looney Tunes references and jokes used to go hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe we forgot that they cut a Pepe Le Pew scene out of this
just going
movie.
into that.
Yeah.
So
point.
I saw some really funny commentary on that. Actually, it was like they got rid of Pepe Le Pew, and it's like they brought Rick and Morty in. Rick's fucked a planet.
Yeah,
like-
yeah, and even he's more acceptable than Pepe Le Pew.
Little weird skunk man.
Yeah.
Rick, however, Rick is not
Rapist.
meant for children. Pepe Le Pew was originally meant to be in like a children's cartoon, as he's
Pepe Le Pew was not meant for children.
well,
sorry,
he was in a children's
Yes,
cartoon.
yes.
Yeah,
For
Rick and
children.
Morty
Yes.
is not a children's cartoon.
for sure.
They're really pushing it.
But
to
yeah,
act like it, though.
okay.
Like the marketing they do for all the Rick and Morty shit, like
So
it's too much.
can we?
really?
Where do we land on this?
Would you recommend it?
no.
No,
No.
no,
No.
If you're nostalgic for the first one,
no,
don't watch it.
No. no.
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's if you're nostalgic, it's not going to scratch that itch. If you haven't seen it and you want to watch a movie, see something else. Spend 2 hours of your time doing.
You have
something
HBO
else.
Max, like use it.
If you have HBO Max and your kid is bored,
There's a
like,
great
put it on.
there's a great
Yeah.
Nexium documentary on there about people getting into a cult. Yeah, watch that instead.
other things you should watch instead of Space
Yeah,
Jam.
Or
because
about
you
the
watched-
opium crisis. There's a great documentary about that.
Because
too.
you watched Space Jam: A New Legacy. This is what will come up next.
LeBron James.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
So 2 things before we go into clip of the week. I wanted to talk about this. I started Skyward Sword HD.
And you've never played it before,
Nope,
right?
never played it before.
Have you played? You've played Wind Waker. You played.
The only Zelda game I played prior to this was Breath of the Wild.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You never even played Twilight Princess?
I'm so
Oh,
jealous
okay,
of you.
wow.
You get
Yeah.
to like. I don't know if I'm jealous of you, because like.
It's a dangerous line to tell.
Well, like, cause it's that same kind of thing where it's like playing Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask when I was younger was so damn special. But I don't know if it's like, you know, it has to do with obviously again all of the nostalgia element and doing it young and when it was kind of like, you know, all of those memes where it's like this is what a game looked like when we were young, what we thought it looked like, and it was like a
Yeah, I've
glorious
seen
thing.
it. Yeah, I know what you're
And
talking
then now
about.
it's like a shitty poly, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. They're
It's good.
fantastic
It's just
games.
like, so you know how the whole thing was motion controls with the Wii?
yeah.
This is a remake of that. So the way they made a button layout for you to use, except since the sword was all this back in the day, they have now mapped that motion. They have now mapped that motion
This is a newbie.
to the right thumbstick. So whenever you
How does it work?
move, you have to click Z targeting to recenter the camera. And when you get into battle, you have to swing the sword by flicking the thumbstick certain ways.
Can you
Okay.
take off the Joy-Con and still use it like the Wiimote?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
but I'm
Okay.
not gonna.
You gotta. You gotta experience it how we all experience
No.
it.
Now, when
No.
did Skyward Sword come out? When did it originally come out?
2011.
I was gonna say
Oh, so it was
11
meant for
or
Wii.
2011,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
It was one of Wii's one of the
It was
like,
one of Wii's 2 Zelda games.
It was one of
Twilight
Wii's 2
Princess
Zelda
and
games,
Skyward Sword.
but
yeah.
it was also one that was like, here are focusing the features of you have the Wii remote, you have the nunchuck.
When they debuted
Okay.
this at E3, they couldn't get the controller to work. That's how new technology it was.
Really?
You
Yeah.
used to you took the controller and you would swing it like the sword, and
Yeah.
then for the bow you had the nunchuck thing, and you would like pull it back and pull like so it made
'Cause
it as
Twilight Princess, it was just kind of like if you wanted to swing the sword, you just like flicked. You just like did
I think
like
I'm
a
gonna play
little
that
thing.
on GameCube.
play it on GameCube. It's
Yeah.
fine on that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's good so far. I will say I am having more fun with the other game I downloaded this weekend, Fallout New Vegas.
How
Now-
far did you get into it?
I had to restart because I got sucked into a DLC that I was not like high level enough to be in. So
But you
you
restarted
can't.
the whole thing.
Yeah, so you
Was it
can't
the
leave
Alien
those zones.
DLC?
Dude, I got all of them. I don't know what's in there. They're all in the Ultimate Pass. It's on Game Pass.
All I saw was red. I
It's
just bought
on
it all.
Game Pass for
Got killed by
PC,
death
and I've
claws,
heard
like-
if you're gonna play a Fallout game, that this is the one to play. And so far, it's been good. The VAT shit is so much fun. That
so
is
fun.
fucking great.
Is that where you slow down and
Yeah.
like you're, yeah.
So I'm gonna play this one. I'm just gonna play the main story just to get through it. I'm not really gonna do too much of the side content. If I like it, I'll do some more. And then after that, I'll try Fallout 4. But my list of games to play just gets
You want to play 3?
no. Fuck you. I've heard 4 is way better than 3.
Really?
No,
I heard it's
I've
New Vegas
I've
4
played
and then
4.
3.
4 has
I've
the
played
building
4 and
mechanic,
it-
right?
Yeah.
No,
That's where you have to
that
build it.
Fucking destroyed the gameplay.
I couldn't even finish 4. I was just like, I can't get into this.
Well,
but
'cause-
yeah, the building mechanic where you have to build the settlements.
And then your
you
settlements get attacked.
Your settlements get attacked by death claws and other people.
Sounds like
It's
Valheim.
annoying.
It's kind of, but it's like this. Like it was at a certain point when you had several settlements and they were all getting attacked. You just had to basically manage that as opposed
Yeah.
to like playing the story. And you're like, this is not. I'm not playing a tower defense game here.
Yeah, but no, New Vegas is good. Skyward Sword's good for. I've done like 3 hours of each.
Yeah.
I literally just got knighted and started going on the actual adventure for Skyward Sword. So
Knighted.
yeah, that's pretty much what it is. You
Now,
graduate
sir,
from a knight
McPoot.
academy in this one, and of
Really?
course it's one of those like you have to read all the text games because Nintendo's like no voice acting. So the name. I started a new file, a new save file, you know, as per tradition with video games, and I wrote Pat down, except it changed Link's name in the game. So every single time people refer to Link, it says Pat instead.
They've been doing that for every.
Yeah,
Zelda
dude,
game,
it's
buddy.
so corny. It's just like, what's going on, Pat? It's just like, ugh, I didn't want this. Like,
That's what people change it to like funny stuff. Like I know in Ocarina of Time, you can like change it to like shit like where it's like D's nuts.
yeah,
And then it's just like,
Like
you gotta
penis.
grab D's nuts.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like-
yeah. No, but
that's
it's
the only
good.
fun mechanic about the naming for it.
Real quick, a viewer was asking, do you guys like Loki and Sylvie together? Going back
I think it's kind of weird that they're like the same person and that they're together.
I like the idea of it. I just think the execution was
It didn't
really
land.
bad. Yeah,
It
like,
just didn't land.
there was no chemistry.
I'm gonna say they're not together. I'm saying it. She just kissed him so she could stab Kang.
That's
what
true.
About all the build up towards it.
No, it's well.
all the build up.
I mean,
like,
the whole.
Oh,
they
it's like, what are
shared a
you talking
blanket.
about?
I was gonna say the blanket and then the love is a dagger. Like clearly Loki loves it, but it's because Loki loves it himself.
Maybe she gave him a handy under that blanket. We don't know.
Holy hell!
And if that isn't love, I don't know what is.
TVA.
TVA. All right. You can do clip of the week now.
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week. It's the clip of the week.
All right, so this is
Oh no!
don't try this at home. I haven't seen this in like over a month
This
now,
is
but I
a
remember
minute
it was
and 37 seconds. Is it worth all that time, or do I need to skip through stuff?
you can probably you'll know when to stop. The very beginning is great, and then it just kind of
Okay.
starts to teeter.
All right. Everybody ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Oh my God, that is the most annoying thing.
That's him putting air duster into a bag.
Oh,
much do you
he's
go?
doing big time whippets.
Don't take a big one.
Do not try this at home.
Am I gonna watch a guy die?
What's gonna happen, Danny? Yo, he's so high.
He becomes the Joker.
Here comes a schoolgirl.
No, dude, he's having a manic episode. Okay, he's not laughing.
Also, look at the background that this guy is living in. This is his kitchen.
This is his garage.
Yeah, this is a garage.
There's a full kitchen behind him.
His kitchen is his garage.
Okay. So quick story time.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't do it because I don't fuck with that. However, my friends did whippets at ESU when I went. They will remain nameless. However, this story is 100% true. I've had people tell me that it's bullshit. It's not. I fucking lived it. We got the can that they use for whipped cream at Starbucks. So we got one of those canisters with no whipped cream and just loaded the CO2 canister onto it, right? So instead of they just ordered that. They didn't know how to do whippets, right? Which is, you fill the balloon and you suck it. You're supposed to go
You gotta crack it. Yeah.
that's what you're supposed to do.
You guys know a lot about whippets.
Yeah. Well,
Been around the block.
I haven't done them, but I watched someone almost die from them, and that's what I'm getting to.
There we go.
And that's when I learned it's probably not how you're supposed to do it. So, first guy up, he takes it. He's a football player. He was my roommate. He takes it, he grabs it, and he takes it, does a whip it straight off the fucking can. And this isn't it's not condensed. This is, you do it and it empties the cartridge into your lungs. Okay. So he does it straight off the can, and it kind of what happens to this guy here, where he's like, and then when he exhales, it was like a, and white, a cloud of frosty white condensation came out, and he just goes, "Oh my God!" He goes, "I'm so fucking high!" That's when he starts screaming. Well, you used to have to go smoke weed and drink in weird places on campus where you couldn't get caught in the dorm, and the cops didn't drive by there. So we're in the middle of this fucking dark pavilion. Dude, shut the fuck up. He's like, "Oh my God, you guys. Holy shit." And then after that, he was like, I don't think I can breathe. I need to lie down. Right. Eventually he ended up recovering. However, it got close to the point where we were like, are we gonna have to fucking call an ambulance for this guy? This is fucked up. To the point where he was like,
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that
And
much
then-
of it to the dome.
Yeah. I learned after that when I was talking to one of my classmates, like the next day in class, he was just like, "You're not supposed to do it right off the fucking canister."
What's the
He
difference between
freebased
the
it.
can and putting it in a bag? Is it just kind of like dilute?
I
in the
don't
bag?
know.
So what it
I
is,
don't
again
know.
with the can, if you just do it right from there, all of it comes out at once, and it
You
just
blow the whole load.
you blow the whole load. As opposed to you put it in a balloon, you're able to control how much that you take because it does not take a lot.
You're
to
also
suddenly
supposed to
just
take breaths
warp-
in
yeah.
between because
You're
you can just
supposed to-
kill the oxygen supply to
just
your
kinda-
brain.
Yeah, you're
Like-
supposed to
So it's
take
like-
like
it's like-
shallow
like-
breaths, and then all of a sudden your world just.
He just did like a bong rip, basically. Of
Yeah, he did.
Bro,
he did a
put
dab.
his
He
mouth
did a dab.
up
He
to
did a
the
dab.
fucking
Yeah.
spigot.
Yeah.
and just
turned the hose
open
And just open the hose.
Okay, like that's
And
what it
didn't
was.
let go.
Yeah.
He just let it happen.
I'll never
yeah.
forget that though. I still remember 100% the white cloud and then the Pat, you gotta do this. I'm so fucking high.
It's like,
I'll
I'm
never
good.
forget that.
I am
never
good.
ever.
more impactful for you than Dare actually was. Like,
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, well, I know never to do that.
It's better
Yeah.
to live it.
You watch other people fuck up on drugs and then you'll figure it out real quick. You're just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That's fucking.
Absolutely.
You're out of your
I'm
mind.
so good on that.
Yeah,
LeBron James.
yeah. I like this guy's laugh here though. That
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, he
that
became the
excites me.
Joker. He became the Joker right there. Yeah.
You know,
That's kind of what happens. Yeah. However, and he's not even doing like whip it. He's doing like duster.
I think
like,
we got one of those
clean-
right there. Actually, you want to
you know what? Bring it over.
Put it in the nose. Yeah.
hit that shit right off the can right now? Let's do it.
See, we used to take those when I worked in retail. We would take them and flip them upside down and spray them because if you do that, you can see it. It'll like spray out exactly what sprayed in.
Oh my god,
Let me
guys!
see. I'll show you. This is what came out of his lungs. Was
Yeah, that right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's great? Have you ever seen that before? Watch
that?
this.
No.
This will fucking like it's.
yeah, and it
it's
flash
cold.
freezes.
That'll
It's cold.
fucking.
Yeah. Well, so that's the thing with
It's
the
snow,
canisters.
bro. Look,
Yeah.
it's snow.
With the canisters, like when you put it into a balloon, the canister gets cold. It
Right.
gets like frosty cold, and so his lungs were probably frozen.
Yes.
iced his
Well,
lungs
that
over.
was
Yeah.
the thing. You know, you pretty much jumped
it's
into an Arctic bag.
pressure differential, and it's gonna
Yeah.
tank the temperature.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's a sturdy boy though. He was fine. He
So-
swore the next day while he was like training. He was like, "Oh man, that shit is like getting in my mouth. It's in the air." Yeah.
It wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, not
That's
the
why I
best.
sprayed it that way.
Yeah. Well,
I was trying to kill Joe.
Either way though, he was like, "Bro, my lungs were burning the next day while I was running." I was like, "Yeah, that's because you like, you chemically poisoned yourself."
You almost died.
Yeah, pretty much.
Holy
And then the other
shit.
two guys that actually bought the Whippet stuff decided not to do it after that. So it was just my one
Smart.
friend almost died. We hung out for 30 minutes and then we went to late night. And that was
Smart.
That was it. That was it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
That should be
Just
the
don't
DARE
do
program.
it. You'll end up like
PSA.
this guy.
Yeah,
really
they should,
happy?
Yeah, they should show this video and because look at the double chin and I love
Yeah.
Do you guys want to look ugly?
that low
That is not
low
human.
growl though that
That's
that is
exactly-
the gas escaping your lungs that's making that noise.
That's not human.
And then that's it sounds like
Is
a
the gas
specter.
heavier than oxygen, and that's why it sounds low?
I don't know. I know
Like
I know what you're talking
like
about because
helium,
helium will
Like
do
if you
that.
if you inhale sulfur, like it makes your voice lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just ask me if this is heavier than oxygen?
Yeah.
Wouldn't I not be able to move it then, or
No, there's a metal can holding that.
That's not how it works. It's not.
and that's
Also-
why this
also-
isn't a science
No.
podcast.
This dude probably thinks like this is probably the happiest this dude's been in a while, and he's sitting in a fucking garage.
In a garage kitchen.
Well, I got to be honest with everyone. As we're signing off, I'll say this: this is the happiest I've been all week, and we're in a
Sitting
fucking garage right now.
with the boys.
Yeah, pretty much.
boys.
Wrap it all up.
Yeah.
Put a pin in
Cyberpunk
it.
2047, 20.
20.
I don't
What is it?
77?
Is it 2077? I always mix up with-
Cyberpunk
with
2077.
Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, so it's 77, I think.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Let's
matter.
do some. We're doing something fun next week. We're doing a game night next week.
Doing
So
beer pong on this table
Yeah.
next week.
Joe, are you in? Yeah,
That's a
he's in.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure out something. We're not. We don't have a movie for next week though. So at least we'll have some fun doing
Mummy
what we're
3.
doing.
Mummy
Mummy 3. Mummy 3. I always feel like you have to build up when you
Yeah.
you have to marathon if you're gonna do a whole. You can't just jump in on 3.
Can't
No,
do that
I'm
with Lord of the
watching
Rings.
one. I'm watching one.
What'd you say?
Can't marathon Lord of the Rings.
Dude. Actually, before we
Each
go,
movie is a
Should
marathon.
not
Real
marathon
quick.
Lord of the
No.
Rings.
real quick, one of my friend's aunts one time, she told me that she watched all 9 hours of the Lord of the Rings with her son who had just had her appendix out, and she was like, I don't understand. Why did it take them 9 hours to take the fucking ring and put it in the volcano?
There's a lot of bad guys.
Yes, yeah, I know.
There's a lot of enemies in the way.
I do want to watch it though, and it's only $90 for all 3 of. They redid the special effects
have
for
you never
all of
seen
them. No, I've never
Oh,
seen
you
any of them.
really? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
they're
mean,
great.
You
Yeah.
gotta do
They're
it.
great.
We'll find some time and we'll do them.
We'll do a
but
double
we-
feature.
but
You gotta
you
watch
could
the
watch
director's
and all of
cuts,
them.
though.
No, I
If you
feel
can
like
watch
that's
Snyder's cut of the Justice League
Twice.
twice, then you could definitely watch Lord of the Rings.
I mean, you guys also remember that I'm not like totally in love with like fantasy. Like I can't get into Game of Thrones
Only because
either.
you haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
I mean, that is, you know what? That's actually probably a good point. Is that I've
Check it out.
check it out. But what I was gonna say
check it
is they released all of them on 4K Blu-ray and they redid the special effects for them, so it doesn't look like The Mummy upscaled to 4K.
It still
It
looks
looks
good.
like the special effects are actually built for that resolution.
like that movie, there was a lot more practical effects. So they
On
didn't-
set,
they,
too.
They didn't
Yeah.
rely
Yeah.
too heavily on special effects.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's a shot where Gollum is like, or Smeagol or whoever is
Yes.
like going through the stream, and they have all the physical splashes on set of somebody going through, and then they paint out the original person. And they redid the Gollum aspect of that, like they exported out higher res, better animations type of thing. Like
that's
they
cool.
actually
That's cool.
redid it. So definitely, I was thinking about for sure checking those out. If I had to check out a version, those would be the ones. But it's $90, so maybe I'll wait for the whole trilogy to be $20, like The Mummy, bringing it back. And
That will never happen. Lord of the Rings is too beloved.
yeah, it's also too valuable, and especially once
People
the
buy
Amazon
it.
series comes out, it's gonna get serious. All right,
That's true.
we're dragging this out. So thanks everyone for tuning in for this episode of Press Any Key, where we did just everything that makes me unhappy. And
take a long, hard look at my life after
yeah,
this.
and next week we're doing something fun. We don't know what yet, but we'll let you know. So we'll see you then. Good night.
LeBron James.